Hello everybody, what's up? Def Camp here on this beautiful Friday. Oh, thank God it's Friday, dude. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Let's see who's in the house so far. Let me get this going here. Let's see, are we showing up live? There we go, we did it, baby. I promise, guys, no scuff stream today. No scuff stream. I promise. What's going on? Alright, we're live. We're good. We're good to go. Let me send this to the Discord. At here. Alright. And I think we're live on Twitch too. Hell yeah. Get the chat up here. Alright. Oh yeah, Yoda is low. He is low. He is not loud as hell. Alright, good. What's going on? What's on, Nicholas Sovenrek? How you doing, brother? Great to see you here. How's everybody doing today? Dude, Yoda is working. He's not too loud. Perfect. Alright. Nicholas, how you doing, brother? Claw, we live, baby. We're live, Claw. How you doing, brother? We got a good topic today. I'm really excited to talk about this. Endgame expectations for each class, each spec. We're going to talk about all of it today, baby. Froggy, what's up? Axel, good evening, brother. How you doing? Froggy, Claw, Nicholas, great to see you guys in the chat. I think I'm live on Twitch, too. Let me just make sure here. So if you guys were here last stream when we had Atticus on, we totally just scuffed it. It was so bad. But yes, okay, we're looking good. We're looking good. Let's make sure we're going live here. Yeah, baby. All right. No scuff stream today, I promise, guys. No scuff stream. How's everybody doing? Dockin in the house. How you doing, brother? Dockin, if you would have saw what happened yesterday, dude, you would have been dying. I went live. I had Atticus come in here. What's up, brother? And as soon as what's up, Atticus? How you doing, brother? Just talking about yesterday. No scuff stream. That's right. As soon as I invited him in here, dude, it just like all my internet just shut down, and then I couldn't go live back on Twitch. It was horrible. It was horrible. Dockin in the house, guys. So Dockin, are we down for tomorrow, brother? Let me know. We might be hanging out with Dockin IRL tomorrow, boys. I'm super excited for that. Yeah, baby. All right, guys. All right. Class. What's up? Lazy Masquerade. How you doing, brother? Great to see you here. Great to see you. All right, Doc, we're down for tomorrow. Yes, dude. Yes. Maybe we can do a little something, you know, while we're live, maybe while we're downtown or something like that. We're going to get some cheesesteaks downtown in Philly. We're going to hang out. It's going to be great. We're going to have a couple cigars. Music Monster Man, good morning. It's evening here, but good evening, brother. Atticus here too. What's up, brother? Yes, we got everybody here. Got that rogue speed leveling guy coming out soon, either tomorrow or Sunday. Hell yeah, Atticus, let me know, dude. I really want to see that. Maybe we can do something with that too. Yeah, bring your gear, Doc, and bring your gear. Definitely. I'm looking forward to that. So, okay, guys. So, class expectations for each class, for each spec, end game. I want to know, like, what are you guys planning on playing? And we'll talk about, I think we'll talk about Priest first, probably, just because that's my most knowledgeable class. We can start with Priest, but I want to know, good evening, Azeroth. What's up, Sazulu? How you doing, brother? Pharaoh, howdy, y'all. Beautiful Friday. I'm going to Atmosphere tonight, stoked. Hell yeah. Is Atmosphere a club? Club Atmosphere? Isn't that in, like, Miami or something like that? Priest or Rogue main. Ooh. Priest or Rogue, yeah. For me, it's Priest, baby, but Rogue is going to be my alt. Absolutely, I'm going to have an alt Rogue. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. It's a beautiful Friday, man, and we got a stream. Couldn't be better. Yeah, it could be a little bit better, Claw, maybe if we got a blue post, but I'm feeling you, dude. It couldn't be better than today. It's not too bad out today. It's a little rainy, but it's okay. I don't mind the rain. It's a little bit cooler, but you know what? Warrior or Warlock or Enhancement Shaman, PK Kampiri, personally, I'm going Enhancement Shaman, baby. I love that enhancement, Shaman. Love it, love it, love it. Probably Atmosphere the rap group. If so, dope, I'm jelly. Oh, Atmosphere the rap group. Okay, I'm getting a little old. I thought it was a club. It was like Club Atmosphere? Sounds familiar. Can't decide. Warrior, Warlock, Hunter. Okay, maybe today's stream will help you decide, Giacomo. Maybe today's stream will help you decide, because we're going to be talking about what each class is expected to do at level 60. Okay, the rap group. I got you. I'm down with that hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm more of an old-school hip-hop fan myself. Warrior all day. So Atticus knows what he's doing. Minneapolis. Oh. But I'm biased. Yeah, I hear you, Atticus. I'm really biased when it comes to Priest. Okay, so what we're going to do here, I'm just going to talk for a second, and we'll get some specs up and things like that. So when it comes to Priest, and we're going to start off with Priest because that's my most knowledgeable basis. When it comes to endgame expectations for Priest, we all know that priests are expected to heal, right? But the thing is, depending on what your guild wants, they may either want you to go discipline, they may either want you to go holy. When it comes to endgame for priest, like phase 1, when we're talking phase 1 in classics, I'm expecting to see a good amount of disciplined priests over holy priests. Because, and let's talk about this real quick, I'll keep this going here. When you look at how good priests are and how many things they can offer other classes, right? Power infusion is just so good, okay? Increases the target with power, increasing their spell damage and healing by 20% and it lasts 15 seconds. So I'm thinking, guys, phase 1 classic, you know, either way, expectations is you're going to be healing either way. But my thing is, guys, on the phase 1, right, for classic, this is going to be my spec. I'll show you right now. Boom. Oops. 1, 2. I already know. I know by heart. Now I'm getting Holy Nova for farming. It's a little bit of a selfish thing, but this is my spec for phase 1 of Holy right here, guys. If you want to check it, save it. This is it. This is what I'm telling you, baby. It's going to be great for raiding. You have so many good things here for phase 1. So think about it, guys. Right, phase 1, no DM. Okay, I know, Nicholas Rock, power infusion. I know. I'm talking crazy. Now, there's multiple options you can go here. This will be my personal option, right? Because I like to be the power infusion priest, and depending on the guild, you may have multiple power infusion priests. So imagine this, a 3-minute cooldown, right? Infuses the target with power, increasing their spell damage and healing by 20%, and it lasts 15 seconds every 3 minutes. Imagine you have 3 or 4 priests, and they all have power infusion. You give it to their mages, and that is a ton of extra damage right there. You're killing bosses a lot quicker. It's almost like you know, a whole party or so, like having bloodlust. It's just crazy. It's a lot of extra damage. And the best part is, right, you're not losing out on too much, because spiritual guidance, okay, increases spell damage and healing by up to, it goes up to 25% of your total spirit. Now, the thing about this is, if you put 5 points in here instead, it's great and all, but you're not going to have that much spirit in phase 1, which is my argument, and this is why I like to personally go and get power infusion. So you'll be getting a little bit of spell power from spiritual guidance, a little bit, but it's really not going to make or break the difference, man. It's really not. Atticus says, by the way, Def Camp, I owe you a huge thanks, man. My views on that one video are over 1,700, dude. I am beyond thankful. I'm going to keep pumping out content. I hope everyone enjoys it. You know, Atticus, and it's not just because we did that, dude. It's honestly because you make great content. The fact that you made that video as good as it is, that's why you deserve 1,700 views, brother. You deserve way more than 1,700, personally. That's how I feel. So, Netherlands reporting here. Oh, what's up? Hello, Bull. GGIS, sorry, GGIS. I said GGIS. Holy Boly. There we go. Keep up the good work, mate. Thank you from the Netherlands, all the way from the Netherlands. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Music Monster says, Cargo's and Def streaming simultaneously. Is Cargo streaming right now? Is he streaming right now? I thought he was going to stream later. He said. Oh, well, I think Cargo's had a little bit of a mishap today, and may have broken his computer. So is he actually streaming right now? He told me he was going to stream later. I guess he changed his mind. But I appreciate if you guys stick around. I know that, you know, a lot of you guys like Cargos as well, but I appreciate you guys sticking here. It's unfortunate. Cargo's had an incident with his computer today, so... Oh, he's not. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so the thing is, Cargo's supposed to stream around this time. So if you guys are fans of Cargo's as well, what we do now is, like, we're trying to have a small overlap so that we really don't... Because I get home from work a little bit earlier than this time, and Cargo's is West Coast. So we want to have, like, a whole block where it's him streaming and then me streaming, so that you guys can, like, simultaneously watch him and then me, and then kind of have, like, a whole day of Cargo's in Def Camp. So, okay, cool. Alright. Oh, no, I'm chill. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Gray said they were going to maybe... Yeah, I think they're going to be streaming after me, so if you guys want to watch after this, they're going to be streaming right afterwards. And then docking. Yes, and then docking. No, I'm not EF, Peter. I'm actually from the US. Atticus, you are a mod. Link your YouTube for people if you haven't. Yes, Atticus, feel free to link your YouTube whenever you want, brother. Whenever you want. What's up, Sven? How you doing, brother? Sven, what's going on? We're talking endgame expectations for each class. And right now we're just talking about Priest a little bit. Okay, yeah. Yeah, they have a big stream afterwards. It's going to be great. So stick around for that after my stream, guys. And then, of course, go check out Dokken. Absolutely. Norsk Bannon says, Yo, Def Camp, you should see Shazam. It takes place in Philly, and I thought of you. Huh, really? Is it a movie? Norsk? Simon Jensen says, Hunter or Warrior? Can't decide. Simon. Okay, those are really two different classes when you think about it. So Hunter or Warrior. So look at Hunter like this way, okay? Hunter is really good at the leveling process. I mean, amazing. Warrior is really bad at the leveling process, like probably the worst. Hunter is literally like the best, and Warrior is the worst at leveling. But when it comes to endgame, PvE, right? PvE, rating, all that kind of stuff, Warrior will completely outshine a Hunter, in my opinion. When it comes to DPS, I mean, hugely outshine a Hunter. There's way more spots for a Warrior in raids, but there also are a lot more Warriors usually per server in classic servers. It depends on what you do, man. You know, do you want to be on melee DPS, or do you want to have a pet? Do you want to be ranged? There are usually a couple spots for a Hunter per raid, but there are multiple spots, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 sometimes for Warriors. I've seen up to 10 people in a raid as Warriors. So, what's up, Ren? How you doing, brother? So, Warrior Masterclass, says Matthew Hilson. Yeah, pretty much, dude. Warrior is pretty friggin' good, bro. So, look at it like this, man. So, if you want to play a Hunter, right, you're gonna have a good time while leveling. You're gonna have a great time, but then when you get to endgame, you might suffer a little bit in terms of PvE. Now, PvP is great fun as a Hunter, and listen to me right now, dude. There are not that many, at least that I've encountered, like really, really, really good Hunters. But once in a while, I'll engage an amazing Hunter, and they just like blow me away at how good they are. I feel like Hunter is one of those classes where if you dig deep, man, if you like try to get really good, utilize everything you can, they're amazing at PvP. Amazing. Their rotation's pretty fun as far as PvE, so it's really up to you and what you like. There are a lot of benefits as a Hunter, especially in the leveling process. They do tend to not do as well in later tiers in PvE. They do very well in PvP, but I would say not as well as a Warrior in PvP in a lot of circumstances, especially when you have a healer with you as a Warrior. So most Warriors won't reach level 60 though. So Maskin, that's a good point. I think, honestly, Maskin, I don't think most people will reach level 60 in Classic, honestly. That's just the way it is. I think a lot of people are going to start playing and then stop. Matthew says, at Def Camp, any tips on not losing motivation whilst leveling? Much love from Australia. Matthew, great question. And dude, hell yeah, all the way from Australia. I love it, brother. So, great question, Matthew. Any tips on not losing motivation while leveling? Classic is a long and arduous process while leveling, right? It's not retail. Things don't happen really quick. You're going to spend a lot of time while leveling. It might take you months, right? The thing is, depends on how much time you have. You know, if you really are just looking to... What are you doing, Rainbow Thief? Alright. I don't know what you did. I don't know if that was a mistake, but you're on a timeout, Rainbow. So, you know, the leveling process is long. It's arduous, but it can be rewarding. I would recommend playing with friends as much as you can. I would also recommend doing as many dungeons as you can. Right? If you look at the leveling process as like a chore, then it's going to get boring, it's going to get arduous, it's going to be long. Look at the leveling process as big of part of the game as all the other parts of the game, as endgame PvE, as endgame PvP. You know, you can have a lot of fun with your friends doing dungeons, going to different leveling zones. I recommend, by keeping it fresh, is maybe, you know, trying different things. Maybe trying tanking if you're leveling as a warrior. Go into a dungeon, try tanking, give it a shot. If you're leveling as a priest, you know, don't just stick to shadow the whole time. Go into a dungeon, try to heal. There's a lot of different things you can mess around with your class and your spec that can keep things interesting. A lot of different things you can do by playing with other people to keep things interesting. So listen to what some of you guys said. Enjoy leveling. It's a great journey. Explore and do quests. It's a great thing to, Basti, is to explore. Right? Classic is a huge world. There's so many different places. If you've never leveled in a zone before, like Melderon and I recently, we never did a lot of leveling in, where was it? Where did we go? 1,000 Needles? Or, oh no, I'm sorry. It was, yeah, 1,000 Needles. Or no, Sunrock, we did, where was it that we went to recently? But anyway, we went somewhere recently that we didn't do a long time, and we had a lot of fun there, dude. Like, doing quests you never did before. Possibly even do this if you're used to playing on an opposite faction, and if you're not too, like, hardcore with that faction. Think about going to the opposite faction, maybe Horde or Alliance, depending on what faction you're used to. Changing it up and trying new things is how I like to do. It's what keeps the game fresh for me, right? I do play Priest a lot, but I like to tend to do it different ways. Go to different places. You know, I don't want to do the Barons every time. I don't want to do, you know, Desolus every time. I'm going to try different zones, different things, and make sure, for me, to keep it really interesting, is to do every dungeon along the way. That's what I love to do. It's not the quickest, but it is the most fun. So I hope that helps, brother. So Matthew Hilton says, Death Camp, on the topic of dungeons, I've noticed nobody has made any content on what required level. That's a good point, Matthew. I mean, we should probably put that, I think we do, Melderon has put that in some of his videos, but you could have maybe a guide where you could talk about each level requirement for each raid, for each dungeon. I mean, maybe that was something that, you know, somebody might want to pick up and do. I can see some content on that, and maybe just talk about, like, I mean, I just don't see that much in that one topic. You know, you make one video maybe about that, about, you know, okay, if you're this level, these dungeons are good for you. If you're this level, these dungeons are good for you. Maybe something like that. Maybe like a one-time video for that would be a good idea. Atticus says, going to switch it up. If you've only been questing, do some dungeons. Take some time to level some professions, do some PvP, just switch it up. Great point, Atticus. Another thing, dude, is queue up for a battleground, dude. Do a BG, do the quests for BGs. You can get a lot of XP from doing BG quests, man. And they're really easy. Some of them are just like, kill this guy or kill that guy. If it's for AV or for Rafi Basin, you know, capture this, do that, win, and you get a lot of XP. And it's fun, dude. And you know what? It's a break from the leveling process. A lot of people just, you know, grind. They kill mobs. And another thing I like to do is read the quests. I know sometimes it might not be interesting, but if you read the quest and you understand why you're doing this quest, for me, that's a lot of fun. Scott Cabell says, Warlocks is best class overall. Can solo elites, PvP, and raid all at same spec. Free mount, destroy all content, no problem. Scott Cabell, great point. Warlocks are very strong during the leveling process. You know, personally, I want to play them more. It's one class that I really haven't got to play enough of, and I really am psyched to play Warlock and Classic. I love Shadow Priest. I love the idea of dots and dotting up targets and kind of like melting them over time. So maybe, who knows, maybe Warlocks will be a pleasant surprise to me. I'm really quite noobish when it comes to Warlocks. I will admit that. Scoom says, play with friends, make mistones make milestones for you. Absolutely, dude. Playing with friends is huge, man. A lot of times people get pretty upset when you're playing by yourself, and this happens to me, and you get ganked constantly. People just end up, you know, farming you, like camping you. But when you're with a friend, stuff like that is a lot less, it just won't happen as much. So playing with friends can have benefits across the board. Basti M says, enjoy leveling. It's a great journey. Explore and do quests. Yes. The Benzo says, I used to listen to the Warcraft 3 cinematic movie while leveling in vanilla. Ooh, I like that, baby. Doc and also says, friends community look at leveling as a journey. Hell yeah, brother. Matthew Hilson says, Def Camp, on the topic of dungeons, I've noticed. Okay, we read that, yeah. As a lock, agree, but I'm going to roll mage for classic. For first time. First time as a mage, brother Swen. Hell yeah. Zaya, World PvP when you get bored of questing. Dude, World PvP. Okay, let's talk about World PvP for a second. World PvP is some of the most fun I've had playing this game. 100%, hands down, dude. Like, if you get bored of questing, dude, go to STV and just, like, go hang out in nesting warriors, and you'll have a little bit of fun. Especially if servers are going to be the way I think they're going to be in Classic, dude. There's going to be a lot of World PvP. Join a PvP. I highly recommend joining a PvP server to make the leveling process more fun. It might take a little bit longer, but if that's your thing, man, I think World PvP is, for me, one of the most things. See, I love leveling. I'll admit it. I love leveling. It's one of my favorite parts about WoW. But I will be one of the first to say, can get a little arduous at times. But that's when I go out and do things and explore and do quests that I never did before, go to zones that I haven't gone to many times before, you know, do dungeons. Doing dungeons for me is one of the most fun things, dude. Like, we just did SM like 4 or 5 times, my brother and I. So much fun, man. So much fucking fun. Def Camp says, Saint Sacred, tell me you're drinking a beer. I don't have cargoes to drink with today. Saint Sacred, you will have cargoes to drink with today. In a little bit after this stream, he will be streaming. Unfortunately, Saint Sacred, I do not imbibe. I am in recovery. I did a lot of imbibing in my past. I am drinking a Snapple, though, and I will say cheers to you, brother, Saint Sacred. And you can drink this Snapple together with me. That was refreshing. Yes. Peter Sean says, Scott, I played Lock on 2 servers. They are super good for farming. Love that place where the eye drops. Ooh, you talking about the Eye of Darkness for the priest? Holy shit! Saint Sacred with the $25 says, love the good vibes. Watching the stream. Keep doing you, brother. You get a hell yeah, brother. Thank you, Saint Sacred, dude. That means a ton, brother. Thank you so much for the $25. You blew my mind, brother. Thank you.
Jedi must have the deepest commitment. The most serious mind.
That's true. The most deep in commitment and the most serious mind. Saint Sacred, you have the most deep in commitment and the most serious mind. Thank you, brother. Thank you. So you said earlier you will go Enhancement Shaman. Isn't it hard to get in raids? Yes. I'm sorry. I'm having trouble reading your name. Pick Kampiri. Picky Kampiri, I think that's what you mean. So honestly, when it comes to that pick, the thing is, Enhancement Shamans, the thing is, yeah, it's going to be hard. I'm hooked. It's going to be hard to find a place in raids as Enhancement Shaman, 100%. However, some guilds will take an Enhancement Shaman as a Nightfall procer and as a Totem Twister. I personally, in my guild, would take probably at least 1, maybe 2 Enhancement Shamans, because they are going to be buffing the melee a shit ton. And if you have a Enhancement Shaman who is actually spec'd into those talents where it increases their Wind Fury attack power, which you get. So Wind Fury gives you a base attack power buff as well as a 20% chance to add additional swing. So it increases that attack power buff. So what a Totem Twister does basically is mixes between Grace of Air Totem and Wind Fury Totem. And basically that is what you're doing for the most part. Like, that is your rotation, and you're going to be white hitting with either Nightfall or another item. So you can do that, but personally, when I go Enhancement, it's for PvP, baby. So I would probably be raiding, and then I would go Enhancement, but honestly, I think I'm going to do Ellie if I'm going to be doing that. And the cool thing about Ellie is, once you're on farm, this is more about the expectations of classes. So as a Shaman, right, you're expected to heal. Healing is usually the thing that you're going to be doing as a shaman. But what's really cool is, I mean, at least I would be doing this, and maybe you shouldn't if you want to be fair and things like that, but I think you can actually play as and spec as elemental resto and still actually heal relatively well in raids, because you will have nature swiftness in the build that I'm going to show you right now. But I want to read a couple more of these comments, so let me get right back to that in a second. How many servers will there be, says Hot Shots. I don't know, and we don't know that yet, and I hope we get a blue post about that.
Jedi must have the deepest commitment. The most serious mind.
We have another Jedi in the house, Furion, with the 5 pounds. I'm sorry, I learned this from Cargos the other day. That's not euro, that's a pound. He says, love the content, hype for classic. You get a hell yeah, brother. Thank you for the 5 pounds, Furion. Hell yeah, brother. Okay, so Peter Sean, no, I will not be speed leveling. Yeah. Sasha W says, yeah. Oh, she's speaking to somebody else. I'm sorry. How long have you been in recovery? Patrick, I've been in recovery for 5 years. January 24th, this past January 24th was my 5-year date. I'm in recovery from opiates, mostly heroin, but I don't do anything nowadays. I don't drink, I don't smoke pot, don't do any of that stuff. I did plenty of it in my 20s and my late teens for the rest of my life. So thank you for the cheers, brother. I appreciate it. Norse Cabanin says you should also take into account class with regards to server choice. For example, comparatively, more rogues on PvP, more priests on PvE, etc. Great point, Norsk. So yeah, PvP servers definitely do have more rogues, more, I guess you could say, PvP friendly classes, which, you know, like rogues are probably one of the most PvP friendly classes. But the thing is, rogues also excel really well in PvE content as well, but you will definitely see more rogues in PvP servers. Priests, for example, also do really well in PvP, especially as Shadow. One of the best 1v1 opponents that you can come across is a Shadow Priest, but we're talking about expectations here, right? Most priests are expected to heal. So that's a good point, Norsk. So real quick, let's talk about the Shaman spec. I'm going to show you guys real quick. I'm going to go over it. Oh, but real quick, I want to, let's see, one sec. How's NS Feral? Okay, real quick, guys. Nature Swiftness. I'm sorry, did I say Nature Swiftness Feral Druid? No, Nature Swiftness Enhancement, or Nature Swiftness Elemental. Okay, so this is going to be the build that I'm going to do. So 5 points in concussion. This is basically a PvP Elemental build and also a PvE kind of rating build. So let's go down the Holy Tree first. So you get Tidal Focus, which with 5 points gives you...
Jedi must have the...
Oh my god, Vomp.
The most serious mind.
Vomp with another $50.01. Vomp. Jesus, Vomp. Vomp, you make me speechless. Vomp, you got a hell yeah, brother. Oh my god, Vomp. $10 first every year sober. Keep it up, brother. Vomp. Thank you so much, dude. You are a fucking legend. All you guys are. I fucking love you, Vomp. Jesus Christ. I don't know what to fucking say. I love you, Vomp. You fucking rock. You're the fucking man. Okay. Which Shaman spec are you leveling with? I'm going to be leveling Enhancement. Vomp, I love you. I'm going to level Enhancement. Okay. Alright. I love you, Vomp. Okay. Back to this spec real quick. Let me go do this. Okay. So... 5 out of 5 Tidal Focus reduces the mana cost of all your healing spells by 5%. Totemic Focus, you're going to be using a lot of totems, whether you're healing, whether you're doing DPS, right? So that's 25% reduced mana cost for all your totems. You definitely want Totemic Mastery, right? Increases the radius that your totems affect friendly targets to 30 yards. So usually they're 20 for certain ones. Now this increases it to 30. So all your friendly totems, 30 yards. That's huge, especially when raiding. You definitely want that. Now, 1 point here I put in improved Reincarnation. Oh, wait, we're not there yet. I'm sorry. 3 points in Nature's Guidance. Nature's Guidance is really good, especially for DPSing. Now, I'm not saying this, guys. This in no way is an optimal healing spec. This is just a spec that I'm going to do for Elemental PvP And also, I may jump into raids and still stay this spec and be a little selfish. But I'm saying you can still heal well in this spec. Not better than other Resto Shamans, in no way better than other Resto Shamans. Someone who's purely Resto will heal way better than you. And then, honestly, you probably really shouldn't do this if you're on progression or anything like that. Don't be this spec. This is primarily a PvP elemental spec. This is my LE spec. I put 1 point in improved reincarnation because it's nice to have, right? Reduces the threat generated, 1 point in that. Not that in PvP, not that big of a deal. Gives 4. Now healing focus is really good because it gives you, what is it, with 5 points, 70% chance to avoid interruption causing while causing any healing spell. But we're not going to take that because again, this is an elemental spec. So we're going to put 5 points here in Title Mastery, which increases the critical effect chance of your healing and lightning spells by 5%. That is huge for elemental. Absolutely amazing. You want that. And then we're going to put 1 point in Nature Swiftness because Nature Swiftness, Healing Wave, so strong. Nature Swiftness, Chain Lightning, Nature Swiftness, anything is amazing in PvP. Okay? Amazing. Dude, I still can't believe the donation. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you guys want to hit thumbs up on the stream, I really appreciate it as well. That really helps a lot. And I'm going to read over on Jaxler over on Twitch, says, hi, Def. And Ale Gaming says, take me on the... Oh, this is from before. Oh, am I? I don't know. I must not be live on Twitch then. Okay. So Call of Flame. I put 3 points here just because fire damage totems, dude. A lot of the times in a lot of PvP scenarios, you're going to want to drop a Fire Nova totem if a melee's on you and it does a shit ton of damage, right? Now, I like to put points in Convection here. We'll start off with 2. We're going to put 1 point in Elemental Focus and then 5 points in Call of Thunder. So Elemental Focus, what it does is it gives you a 10% chance to enter a clear casting state after casting any fire, frost, or nature damage spell. So that means lightning bolts or your shocks. You have a 10% chance to enter clear casting, and that's a free cast after that, which is really nice. Now Call of Thunder, this is 5 more crit. So I'm sorry, 6% crit. An additional 6% crit to your lightning bolts. Now remember, we already got 5 from here. So now you're up to 11% crit just in your talents. That's just talents, 11% crit. That's fucking awesome, okay? Now, this is why I didn't go into healing focus here, is because we're going to get 3 points in Eye of the Storm here, which gives you a 100% chance... I love Yoda. It gives you a 100% chance to gain the focus casting effect that lasts for 6 seconds after being the victim of a melee or ranged critical strike. The focus casting effect prevents you from losing cast time when taking damage. And the other really cool thing about this is it has a really cool sound when you critically hit a shaman. It goes, it's that really cool sound that, like, I don't know, it's just really cool. Now here is where it might differ. I personally will put more points in Convection just because it's really nice to have that reduced mana cost for your lightning and shock spells. I feel shamed I never played Shaman. Peter Sean, you should feel shamed. You know what? I felt shamed. I used to give Melron shit all the time. I'm sorry, you don't have to feel shamed, but I really, honestly, dude, I used to give him shit all the time. Like, Pally is so much better than Shaman, which I still think Pally healers are the best in the game. I will say that. I think, even though I'm a huge Horde advocate, I still think that Paladin healers are the best healers in the game in Classic WoW. But Shamans are just so much fun, Peter. And if you haven't played one, dude, do it because they have given me so much joy in these past couple months. Okay, so now we're down to Storm Reach and Elemental Fury. Of course you want that 1 point in Elemental Fury because what it does is increases the critical strike damage bonus of your Searing, Magma, and Fire Nova totems and your Fire, Frost, and Nature spells by 100%. It's a 100% increased critical strike damage. We got another donation from Plainview. Says, like your energy, hypes me up for Classic. Hell yeah, brother, that's the point. Hell yeah, brother.
The deepest commitment.
Deepest commitment,
the
brother.
most serious mind.
Thank you for the €2 and the 29 mini euros, or euro cents, I think they're called, right? Thank you so much, Plainview. Okay, so yes, 100% increase to your nature spells, dude. Like critical strike damage. That's huge. Huge, huge, huge. And now we have Storm Reach, right? Which is great for PvP. Yeah, it's Melderon typing, by the way. And yeah, because I really can't... Whoa! We got another donation. Is that $5 Canadian? Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah from Canadian. The world always needs more shamans. Adrian Parker, hell yeah, brother. Melderon is going to love you for that. Thank you for the $5 Canadian. You get a hell yeah, brother. Thank you, dude. Thank you very much. Mini euros. Yeah, Melderon. Okay, so 2 points in Storm Reach. Okay? Increases.
Must have the deepest commitment.
Oh, that's from
the most serious mind.
Deepest commitment, most serious mind. I know, I love it. Increases the range of your lightning bolt and chain lightning spells by 6 yards. Okay, great for PvP. Let's finish up convection and finish up here in lightning mastery, which reduces the cast time of your lightning bolt and chain lightning spells by 1 second. Just amazing for PvP. Now this spec, guys, this is my elemental PvP spec, but what I'm saying here is it's still okay for raiding as long as you're on progression, as long as you're on farm, you can heal okay. Okay. You won't be the top heals, and honestly, most guilds will probably say, dude, go respec. So you might want to do that, because when it comes down to it, the expectations of shamans, for the most part, excuse me, I've been burping a lot. For the most part, the expectations of shamans is for healing. They make amazing healers, guys. Like, chain heal alone. Chain heal is the only smart heal in the game. It's the only game that crosses party lines. The only heal that crosses party lines. Because in vanilla, Prayer of Healing does not cross party lines. It's only for your party. And it's the only heal that will go to targets that have low health. So it will go to the targets that need to heal the most. So if you guys want to go over some other resto specs. Now, the thing is here, improved healing wave is great. And you want to go change this a lot, because now Melderon will know more than I, but the main things you want to get here, guys, for healing is purification is great. So let's do Temic focused. Healing gives your casting time of your healing wave. I'm trying to remember here. No, the threat you don't need. Healing focus. Now, restorative totems is very nice. Increases the effect of your mana spring and healing stream totems. Now, this talent here, I think, is so cool, and it's so flavorful to just shamans in a lot of ways. Your healing wave spells have a 33% chance, and well, with 3 points is a 100% chance to increase the effect of subsequent healing waves on the target by 6% for 15 seconds. But it stacks. And this says stacks up to 15,001 times, which is not correct. I believe it's, I don't know how many times. How many times does that stack, Melderon? Yeah. What do you mean it's not a smart heal, Noob Taco? It's a smart heal in the aspect of it that it does transfer over party lines. Is that what you're saying? It doesn't? Because it does. And as Defcam Melderon says, yes, it has an AI script to go to targets with the lowest health. Correct. Tier 1 Shaman. Tier 1 is amazing with Healing Way. Dude, Mumfo, I know, dude. And Healing Way is just so cool. It is amazing. So I'm going to read a couple more of these comments here. Send to the Discord. Send to... Okay, gotcha. What up, Outbreak? How you doing, brother? Great to see you here at the stream. Great to see you here. There are two factions in WoW: the faction that has shamans, and the faction that wants them. Norse Cabanon, I love that, brother. I love that. I wonder if the Alliance can say the same. No, they can't. Well, honestly, guys, I will say Paladins are amazing, on your team in a raid, man. You know, the blessings alone. Just talk about blessings for a second, dude. Blessing of Sank, amazing. But you know what? Shamans have Wind Fury. And Wind Fury is the most beautiful thing in Vanilla WoW. It is so amazing. Having a Shaman now and seeing how much it benefits other people putting down the Wind Fury totem is fucking beautiful. Watching, you know, a tank have like unlimited rage and just have a crazy amount of threat because of your Wind Fury totem. It's just so cool. So freaking cool. Jack Sykes says, what race will you be going under Shaman? Funny thing is, Jax, I was having a really big dilemma with this, but I finally have come down to it. And listen, guys, you know, I know that Orc is the primary, but I take in my playstyle, and I take into what I like more into consideration, and I am going Tarn for my Shaman. Why? because I think War Stomp is one of the coolest fucking spells in the world. That's why I love War Stomp. I love being able to stun people, you know, shoot off a really quick lesser healing wave if I have to. I love being able to, you know, stun people and get away if I need to, stun people, chain lightning. I just love War Stomp. Orc is amazing for that stun resist. It's so good. It's so good. But personally, dude, I just love Tarn, especially for elemental. I love it. Not to mention, right, that you have the improved health, right? So that's great. But one of the main things that I love about Tarn, baby, I mean, it's just so friggin' cool, right? Being able to roleplay as a Tarn. Like, for me, I love being that big, beefy motherfucker, dude. I love it. Yep, moo. That's right. And I can go / moo, baby. That's it. That's it. So, honestly, yeah, dude, Tarn is for me. I really personally just like Tarn. And that's the thing, man. Like, I'll make sure I go engineering, have all these, you know, other things that, like, think about this. I can put, you know, Tidal Charm. I can use that in tandem with Iron Grenade, in tandem with War Stomp, and I believe War Stomp and Iron Grenade do not share a DR, but I think Tidal Charm and War Stomp do share a DR. So, correct me if I'm wrong on that. But, so Shamans, guys, are an amazing class come endgame for vanilla. You will primarily be healing, and there are a lot of different healing specs. I honestly don't know too much about the healing specs for Shaman, but I know that it's basically, you know, you get a lot of the basic talents that you would for many of them. So reducing the mana cost is huge. You know, reducing your cast time. Healing focus is great to avoid any interruption. You definitely want to increase your totems. Critical strike. Nature swiftness is great. Purification increases the effectiveness of your healing. Healing way is amazing. And of course you want that juicy Mana Tide totem because... Listen to this. Summons a Mana Tide totem with 5 health at the feet of the caster for 12 seconds that restores 170 mana every 3 seconds. And that is at the first rank, I believe. So I think it does more than that. Yeah, Trolls are amazing shamans as well, dude. Especially for Resto. You know, you're going to be taking a lot of damage. So you hit Berserker and now you're shooting chain heals out like a motherfucking champ, dude. It's just amazing. It's amazing. Trolls have the basketball player figure. They slender. Tarns are fucking heavy weightlifters. Absolutely, baby. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's the share DR? So share DR is basically, I'm forgetting the word. So, okay. So what happens on a DR is if you stun someone, if you polymorph them again, now the second polymorph is shorter, right? Because they share a, what the fuck is the word? I can't remember the word. Hold on. Diminishing returns. Thank you. Jesus. They have diminishing returns. So if you polymorph someone, you get the full polymorph the first time, right? The second polymorph is shorter because of diminishing returns. So you can't just keep polymorphing someone over and over and over again, right? Because that's just retarded. You can't do that. You could in early WoW, and very early WoW, no spells have diminishing return. You can just fear people nonstop. So diminishing returns is what happens when you use the same spell over again, or the same thing like a stun over and over. It becomes less effective each time in a matter of time. So as long as you do it within like a certain matter of time, if you come back and free that target like 2 minutes later, it won't still have those diminishing returns. So Tarn's best race, absolutely. Thank you for the explanation. No problem, Silently. I forgot. I was like, DR. What the fuck does DR stand for again? And no diminishing returns. Yeah. Okay, no diminishing return. Thank you, Sancha. Thank you. Thank you for that. So no diminishing returns with Iron Grenade and War Stomp. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. The window is 15 seconds for DR. Thank you, Melderon. Thank you. 15 seconds. I have done some soul searching into what race I want to play. Shaman, and it will be Tarn, Mini Alex. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. The Stomp can be used as an offensive tool and defensive tool and works in all specs. Mini Alex, I love it, brother. You know, I will say that the Undead with no jaw is better for Aura. So I will say the only downside to Tarn, for me, is that I tend to notice that people target me first because I'm so fucking can't think today. My brain is off. There are ways to get around that, but honestly, you know what? Being that big beefy dude is awesome. And if people want to target me, I used to think so, Matthew. I used to think so. My very first character was an Alliance Rogue, and I loved him. I loved him. I did. I loved my Alliance Rogue, but I learned the ways of the Horde, and Hello? Oh, God. Am I coming through? Can you guys hear me right now? What the hell is going on? We can hear you. Okay, we can hear you. Okay, something happened on my screen. I see, for some reason, on my stream is just loading. Okay, good. Okay, God, if you guys can see my face just turned so red, I literally thought my stream just scuffed again, dude. It's the laggy for anyone else. Is the stream? Okay, yeah, apparently the stream's lagging a little bit, but dude, YouTube is sometimes horrible, dude, when streaming. I don't know what it is, man. Yeah, it looks like somebody... Try reloading the stream, guys, if you have to. Yeah, try reloading the stream. There you go. Reload the stream, boys, and it should be okay. Damn. You on Wi-Fi? Yes, unfortunately, Claw. I am on Wi-Fi. So that's the thing, guys. So, like, right now, Melderon and I are really limited because we have to have Wi-Fi right now. And there's, like, no other thing that we can do about it. Damn, we just lost, like, 100 people. God damn, that sucks. That really sucks. Yeah, I know. I don't know, man. I think it was on YouTube side, but they'll come back. They'll be back. Use Powerline. Yeah, dude. Kevin, I wish I could, brother. I wish I could. All right, let's just... People are coming back, guys. If you had to reload the stream, welcome back. Welcome back. Okay. Yeah, Wi-Fi sucks, brother. I know. Sup, just got home from my D&D session. Oh, Tumulgin, how'd it go, brother? We fought a group of ghouls, and then later we fought a Shellug's sliced spider. Luckily, on one died, and we got a decent loot out of it. Did I miss anything, Def? Tumulgin, all you missed was the stream basically getting scuffed again. It was YouTube side. I'm going to blame YouTube for this one. But no, we're talking about... Well, you did miss a little bit, honestly. We're talking about endgame expectations for each class, right? So we talked about priests a little bit. We talked about shamans. We always go into shamans all the time because I've honestly loving shamans a lot. Are you guys big D&D fans? Because I am, brother. I am. Holtzy, what areas? How many Alliance players here? Oh, Giacomo. Giacomo, very dangerous question. Very dangerous question. You might not see too many of the... No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sure there's a good amount of Alliance players here. All right. So, are you guys satisfied with Shaman? I think we talked a lot about Shaman here. And I want to say, finish up on Priest real quick, because we talked about the different specs. So, once you're endgame for Priest, correct? Endgame, we're talking patch 1, right? This is the spec that I go after. This is the Holy Hero spec that I use, right? This is once I'm in tier, and I'll make it bigger for you guys so you can see. So, this is once I get most of my tier 1. This is after DM came out. And as you see here, I don't have the 10% increased mana from mental strength, because at this point, honestly, you've got a good amount of intellect from gear. So this is, in this spec, you're maximizing the amount of healing you can do as a priest, right? So you get 25, you get healing increased by up to 25% of your total spirit from spiritual guidance, and you also get increased 10% from spiritual healing out of all your heals. So this is what I like to call the Holy Hero spec. You get all the base, plus healing you can do. You get, with Discipline, you have Divine Spirit, you have Mental Agility, Inner Focus, Silent Resolve if you want to lose a little bit of threat. This is an all-around good healing spec. Now, there's a lot of different things you can do while you are, when you get to level 60. Some people, if you notice that you can't last in a fight, and it's okay, guys, it happens to every guy. A lot of the times, you're not a little early, and it's okay, guys. It's okay. So if you notice that you're having that problem, you might want to take mental strength, right? Imagine it as, mental strength is you thinking about basketball, so that you don't prematurely ejaculate, okay? So there you go, guys. Mental strength is what you want to take if you notice that you're having trouble. If you're having a little trouble, guys, that's the thing. Now, again, I love Power Infusion spec, guys, and I love it a lot because I feel like it's so useful. It's so useful for raiding, especially in the early game when a lot of people don't have the gear to be doing the damage. Power Infusion Priests literally might make or break your raid group. Literally. So, the birds and the bees from Def Camp Melderon. There you go, baby. There you go. Melderon's you have the problem. It happens to the best of us, bro. It happens to the best of us. My God, I've been waiting 13 years for official vanilla WoW. Almost half my given lifetime. Give it to me now. I know, brother. I know. Holtzy, I'm still torn between Shaman and Warrior main. Okay. Okay, guys, if you weren't here with Atticus's deep dive, he went over Warrior so well, and Melderon is actually helping me consolidate that video into a little video where we're just going to be talking about. But I highly recommend, and I'm going to put a link in there right now, if you guys want to know more about Warrior, because I will just talk about Warrior, I won't go into the specs. You need to watch that video. And let me just get it real quick. Let me go back into my chat with Atticus so we can pull up that video. Okay, here we go. Now, guys, if you want to know about Warriors, and this is about speed leveling, things like that, he goes over the leveling specs. And honestly, I had no idea. Talking to Atticus, like, I was all about leveling Fury. Yeah, leveling Fury, dude. He has, like, made Melderon actually respec to arms. So I thought that was really cool. I've always played a Holy Priest, but I'm considering a Shaman. Mel, I feel you, dude. I honestly feel you, brother. The real Kyle in the house. How you doing? Wait, we didn't talk about Priest. Okay, the real Kyle, I'm sorry. We talked about Priest in the beginning, and I went back to it. So we'll talk a little bit more about Priest. We'll focus a little bit more on Priest before we go into Warrior. Okay. So yeah, we talked about Priest a little bit in the beginning, and then I went into Shaman, and now we're back to Priest. So this, guys, this one spec right here, okay, this is what I really like to go and do when I first hit level 60 as a phase 1 spec. Then, like I said, when I get my tier 1, when I get a lot of my DM gear, I'm probably going to drop this and go the Holy Hero spec, which will look like this. Now, the great thing about this spec, right, is you can AoE farm either way. As long as you have over, and when I say AoE farm, I primarily mean DM East farming the Lashers. Now, as long as you have Holy Nova and you have at least over, I'd say 6,000 mana. I'd say maybe I'll put it right at about 6.2k mana is about where I noticed, and a good amount of spell power. So I'd say probably, and you know, if you don't have spell power, don't worry about it, because in a lot of the tier 1 gear, some of it gives spell power. What I would recommend, maybe turning, if you have Benediction, turning into Athena. I'm sorry, Anathema. So if you have a little less spell power, Athena, you want more mana, so maybe you might need to get 6.5k mana, right? The thing is, you need enough mana. Your health will be fine. Don't worry about your health, because honestly, you're going to be getting healed from Holy Nova. So you just spam Holy Nova. But either of these specs work for Holy Nova. And when I say either of them, guys, you actually can probably get about 3 or 4 different specs with different ways of doing this. Like I said, you could do a spec like this, where you have 5 out of 5 mental strength, 5 out of 5 spiritual guidance. So that's basically 26 discipline, 25 holy. Or, again, you could have 30 holy, 21 discipline. Or again, there is the 31 discipline, which is the power infusion spec. And that's 31 discipline, 20 holy. So those are the main specs for healing priests. There are a little bit different ones here and there. And the main thing is, guys, as a priest, okay, we'll talk a little bit about what your expectations are as a priest in raid, right? As shamans are primarily melee group healers, tank healers, things like that. You're healing the melee a lot because you're using chain heal. That is why shamans are so good with just chain heal, because they're able to just, you know, and melee takes a lot of damage, especially in MC and BWL, in most of the raids in vanilla, right? Melee takes the blunt of the damage. So in some fights, in a lot of fights actually, you will see shamans at the top of the healing meter, because like Shazra, for example. Shazra does an insane amount of damage. Shazra is a boss in Molten Core. Does an insane amount of damage to the melee, right? Because melee are standing in its AoE. Just insane. Shamans do so good, so good in that fight, because they're just constantly healing everyone in the melee group. Now, a priest is really good at healing just everyone, right? Now, whoever's in your party is the luckiest, because you can Prayer of Heal your party, which just heals amazing, and it's a great heal. The only thing about Prayer of Healing, guys, is it uses a ton of mana, and I recommend pairing up something like that with Inner Focus, which would give you a free heal and the increased crit by 25%. But as a priest, right, you're going to be tank healing, you're going to be raid healing, you're going to be dispelling a lot. So we'll talk about dispelling for a second. We kind of bypassed that with shamans for a little bit. So shamans can cleanse diseases and poisons, which you do get a little bit of in raids, but you get way more magical dispels, and I would say way more curses usually in raids. So we'll get to Shadow Priest the real Kyle in a second. We definitely will. We definitely will. Trust me, I won't miss it, brother. I won't miss it. And thank you guys for coming back to the stream. I know it got a little scuffed there for a second, and we're building our way back up. I think we hit like over 250 over there for a second, but we're working our way back up. Thank you guys. So guys, in a lot of fights, especially when you first go into MC, your main job as a healer is dispelling, right? I mean, dispelling is very, very important in MC, and it is your main priority in certain fights. Holtzy with the 199 says, topping off the tip jar. Keep it up. Rolling. Much love. Thank you, Holtzy. You get a hell yeah, brother. Thank you, dude. So much. It means a lot, Holtzy. I love you, brother. So dispelling, guys, is huge. And, you know, whether there's so there's a debuff on targets, and a lot of times...
Must have the deepest
commitment. That's right.
The most serious mind.
So a lot of the times when you're raiding, the trash will put debuffs on target, magical debuffs on target. In MC, for example, and I say MC a lot because, you know, it's going to be the first raid we go into. It's going to be the first. It's the one I did the most in vanilla as well. But you have debuffs that will put 35% reduced health on you. Need that off the tank immediately. 200 minus 200 fire resistance. Definitely need to get that off the tank immediately. And then, of course, there are the boss debuffs that will, you know, put damage over time. Things like that. Slows. They need to be taken care of ASAP. You know, fears. Dispel the fears, guys. Dispel the fears. Okay? You know, and sometimes as a priest, right, you have to dispel the boss as well, or dispel a mob. So hopefully, you know, you'll see this if a mage uses his ability, which is detect magic, right? It'll show you what magic is on the boss or on the mob, and you can see, okay, this needs to be dispelled, this needs to be dispelled. Now, either a shaman or priest can do that, because we forgot to talk about purge, right? Because purge basically removes buffs off the target as well. So that's another thing you'll be doing as a priest, is removing buffs. So dispelling is huge, guys, and from what I know, decursive will not be in classic from what I've heard. So get used to seeing things on your bars and knowing when to decurse or remove spells. And so now, I mean, that's your main job, right? And there's different tier sets that are amazing as priests. You know, tier 2, 3 set gives 15% increased mana regeneration, and then the tier 8. So there's usually at least one tier 2 8-piece priest in every raid, because what it does is every time you use your greater heal, it puts a rank 6, I believe, renew on the target, which is huge. I mean, that's a lot of healing right there. So there's a lot of cool sets, guys. Like, healing priests are just so good in vanilla, and honestly, most fights they're going to be at the top. They offer so many things in as heal over times and renew, as you know, group heal with heal. Group heal with I can't think today. I can't think of how the heal is called again. That heals the group. Jesus, my head is going everywhere. I'm sorry. So prayer of healing, Jesus, prayer of healing, and then of course you have flash heal, greater heal, lesser heal, which you really don't use except to buff inspiration. And inspiration is another great thing that shamans have as well. Basically the same thing, which increases your armor of the target when you crit on them. So with 3 points, it does 25% armor for 15 seconds, which is awesome. Yeah, Holy Nova Temulsion is really only needed. It's not needed that much in raids because the AoE healing that you get from it is way less than you would from prayer of healing. So honestly, if you want to heal your group, it's way more efficient, like say for less, to downrank a prayer of healing than it would be to use Holy Nova. Holy Nova, in my experience, when I use it, is only used in PvP, right? It's sometimes it's good in PvP because it does a lot of damage to, you know, it's AoE, and also to get rogues out, and also for farming. So you can, once in a while, you can jump into a mess of mobs, throw some Holy Novas out if you're feeling cool, you know. Def Camp, did you try AoE farming with Holy Nova? Absolutely, Basti. Yes, and that is how I farm, and that is with Holy Nova. Inspiration is like my favorite buff, says Dokken TV. Dokken, isn't Inspiration amazing? I love when it procs, dude. That is why crit is important on a priest, having some crit. That's why you want to try to get, you know, as many points as you can in Holy Specialization, without taking points out of Healing Focus and Improved Reno. No threat from Holy Nova. BWL Holy Nova. Oh, so what boss epics drop the neck beard? What boss epics drops the neck beard? The neck beard is something that you actually is a reputation grind that you have to get, and that's I believe it's 276,000 hours while sitting at the computer. Yeah, that is the neck beard drop. Did I miss Shaman? Duggar, you did. I'm sorry, brother. I know. I love the buff for sure. Yeah, Duggar, we talked about Shaman a bit. We're talking about Priest right now. Mitchell Ramsey, what's up, brother? At DefHam, any opinion on videos made by Haruma Directs? Christian, I've seen some of his videos, but not enough to probably give an opinion like that. So I like. I mean, I've seen a lot. I've seen some of his videos which are pretty good. But for the most part, I usually catch people more, you know, like Cargos, Dokken, you know, Orkbit, Hamster Wheel. I'm not saying he's, you know, but I think, is he more of a retail guy? Is that what it is? I think he's more of like a retail guy. So we're doing Priest right now, Yonder, but you did miss a lot of the healing stuff, yes. But we're going to talk about Shadow really quick, okay? So Shadow, as far as endgame expectations, right? There's really two options that you have as a Shadow Priest, okay? And one of them really isn't a Shadow Priest. One of them is more of a Holy Weaving Priest. So Hamster Wheel is amazing. Yes, he is. Okay. So first, we're going to go over the basic, you know, healing spec that you're going to do for healing. Now, Blackout, Spirit Tap, in a raid environment, Blackout is whatever. I mean, it's a little bit of stun. Oh, Pogern with the $5 says, I can't stay long like I normally do. Congrats on staying sober. Keep up the great work, dude. Peace and love, fam. Pogern, you get a hell yeah, brother. Thank you, brother. Peace and love to you, man. And I love you, brother. Thank you for the $5. So, the thing about Spirit Tap is it only gives you 20% chance, I'm sorry, 100% chance.
Must have the deepest commitment.
That's right, brother.
The most serious.
It's 100% chance for bonus, but you have to get the last hit on the boss. So that's why you know you're not going to take it for rating. There's no guarantee you're going to get the last hit. So just take Blackout anyway. You can use it for PvP. It's great. Okay. Now, improve Shadow Word Pain. Absolutely, right? That's like most of your damage right there. And Shadow Focus. Huge, 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 huge. So this is a spec that is primarily going to be for rating, but you probably could PvP in it as well. Let me read a couple of these real quick. All I can say, thank God that many people run Shadow Priest because it's BGs, they melt, and I feel helpless. Absolutely, Braff. I play Shadow Priest in BGs, and I love it. So, I do want to say this real quick, guys, is you probably will see a bit more Shadow Priests in raids than you do on private servers, at least in the beginning, because in the beginning we will have 16 debuff slots. So a lot of raids will be bringing at least one, and probably only one, Shadow Priest, or which my thing is, I like to bring this more, is actually a Holy Weaving Priest, which Dokken will tell you that I love doing for him. When I did it the other day, it was actually a lot of fun. So we'll go into that as well. So okay, so Mind Flay, of course, and we're gonna put 2 points in Improved Psychic Stream. Now here is, now you don't need 2 points in. Now if you're going to be doing this for rating, you want some points in Shadow Affinity too. That could help, but it's not huge because you're not going to be doing that much damage where the threat's going to be that much of an issue. So, but improved Mind Blast as well. You can put it wherever. You're going to put more points in there as well. So 5 points in Shadow Weaving, right? This is your main thing as a Shadow Priest. This is what you're coming to raids for. Okay, this is why you're there. Your Shadow damage has a 100% chance to cause your target to be vulnerable to shadow damage. This vulnerability increases the shadow damage dealt by your target by 3% and lasts 15 seconds, stacks up to 5 times. So that's 15% increased shadow damage on the target. It is a huge, huge, huge debuff for yourself, of course, as a Shadow Priest, and for Warlocks. Because Warlocks, of course, use shadow damage, Shadow Bolt, right? So this is why Shadow Priests are welcome to raids. Now, of course, you know, depending on what you're going to be doing, a lot of people do or don't take Shadow Reach. The thing is, we're here, Vampiric Embrace, right? It's great for your party, but remember, it's only for your party. It's not going to be going to, you know, anyone else except for your party, right? So I won't recommend putting those extra 2 points into improved Vampiric Embrace for raiding. Now, these next points here, the thing is about, you know, raiding, you don't have to really get Shadow Reach because you're going to be in that range anyway. You'll be okay. You know, you stand a little bit closer, that's okay. Not that big of a deal, right? So go ahead and get improved Psychic Scream. You know, go ahead and put that point into silence for PvP because it's great. It's great to have that. And then you can put 1 point in Shadow Reach if you want, or you can put 1 point in Shadow Affinity. Honestly, I'd put it in Shadow Affinity just to help that threat a little bit. If you're purely going to be raiding, I'd put it there. So they go 5 points into Darkness, and then of course 1 point into Shadow Form. Now this is a pure, like I said, for raiding spec. Now a more of a PvP spec, I'd probably put a little bit more points into Shadow for purely PvP. But again, end game expectations, now we're talking about PvE here, so let's go ahead and finish off in the Discipline tree with Unbreakable Will. Now you don't have to really take improved Power Word Fortitude here because the other priests will have it, and if you're raiding, I mean, they should have it as well. So you could put some points in Silent Resolve and not get improved Power Shield, improved Power Word Fortitude, but let's just say for whatever reason we're going to get it here because let's say that you want to use it for groups and things like that. So we're going to get that, or you could, like I said, depending on how many priests are in a group, and if they all have improved Power Word Fortitude, you know, let them buff it. But it also makes it so that you don't have to worry about buffing because, oh guys, I don't have improved Power Word Fort, I can't buff. So not the same to do that. Just go ahead and get it. Doesn't really matter. Martyrdom's okay as well, especially for PvP. Martyrdom's really good. 3 points into Meditation. Now you can either put 1 point into Silent Resolve, 1 point into Martyrdom. Definitely, I would say Silent Resolve would be better for raiding. Just that's extra threat reduction. Because a thing you want to realize, guys, is Mind Blast does have a two time threat multiplier, I believe. Yes, a 2 times threat multiplier. So just realize that. So Mind Blast will be putting out additional threat than other spells. So you do want to have some things to put. So 1 point in Silent Resolve would be nice, and 1 point into Shadow Affinity would be nice as well. Atticus, peace out, brother. Thank you for coming, man. I love you. Love you, brother. Off to work. I get down. I might pop it back in. Again, guys, let me just pop in Atticus's video here, which can lead you to his channel. And this is the one that he did on Warriors, so check it out. So why not Martyrdom? So the thing is, Peace Miles, if I was going straight up for PvP, I would absolutely get Martyrdom, right? Absolutely. Gives you 50% chance to gain the focus casting effect, which is amazing. It's great for PvP. The thing is, when you're talking straight up for PvE, this is a PvE build. You really don't need Martyrdom. I'm talking, this is a straight raiding Shadow Priest build, right? Last stream was killer. Thank you, Cargo's in the house. How you doing, brother? Dude, is your computer okay? What's going on, man? What the hell happened, brother? Cargo's in the house. Guys, some people were in here saying, somebody was like, he said, what did he say again? I can't have Cargo's to drink with today, so I did a little cheers with him. He gave me a cheers. Your buddy was here looking for you. He wanted to drink. I told him to stay tuned. You'll be streaming soon, brother. We good, family. We good. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Had to buy a new PC. Oh, rip, brother. Rip. Oh, my God. You got much love in here, Cargo's, brother. Dude, can I just say, Cargo's, nicest guy. Nicest fucking guy. And not only that, but he makes some amazing fucking content. And I honestly feel like he's my brother from another mother. Dude, I wish I could make it to your wedding, bro. I wish. Me and my brother were talking about this the other day. We were like, we wish we could make it to your wedding so damn bad. So damn bad. Okay. So, Oh, I thought someone said F again. I thought the stream was there. You're late again, Nigel. It's okay. You can watch. Oh, guys, something I'm going to mention, guys. Listen. So, Melder and I were talking, and we're thinking about not putting these videos up on YouTube to rewatch, but they'll be up on Twitch, right? So make sure you follow over on Twitch, because that is how you can rewatch these videos. Because honestly, I've been streaming a lot that it's just been kind of flooding our page of just like, you know, streams. So if you guys want to rewatch these streams, go ahead, follow over on Twitch and check it out over there. Well, this isn't the one because Twitch isn't working. Oh, it's not. It's not working again. Okay, well then, so we will put this video up then on YouTube, guys, because apparently Twitch isn't working again. Okay. Cargo says Defcam and Melrun are the realest dudes out docking. Yeah, bro, I saved the HUD with all the stream scenes. All right, hell yeah. Why not? Yeah, John, we will put this one on YouTube. But the thing was, right, a lot of the streams were just taking up like all of the thing on YouTube, and a lot of people were like, you know, where are all the regular videos at? So yeah, John, honestly, it's something we got to think about too. It's something we got to think about. So maybe, what did Kevin say? Why not make a rewatch channel on YouTube? You know what, Kevin? That's a great idea. That is a really good idea. So maybe, John, for right now, John and Kevin, guys, this stream will be available on YouTube after it's uploaded. So we will put this one up, and maybe we might just do that. We might make a separate channel just for the streams. So let me finish this real quick. So again, guys, like, okay. So if you want to do this and PvP, go ahead and take Martyrdom. Go ahead and put 2 points in there if you want to, because it can be really nice for PvP. But this, again, like I'm talking primarily just right, and a lot of these specs, you can move 1 point here, you can move 1 point there, it doesn't make a difference. So whatever, go ahead and put 1 point in Martyrdom, 1 point in Silent Resolve, it doesn't matter, we'll put it in Silent Resolve for here. 5 points into Mental Agility, and that is, and again, a straight up rating PvE Shadow Priest spec, okay? What Mental Agility does is reduces the mana cost of your instant cast spells by 10%. Thank you guys for following me over on Twitch. I don't know why it didn't work this time. We'll have it working next time over at Twitch as well. So yeah, reduces the mana cost of your instant cast spells, which is your Shadow Word Pain, your Bubble. Mind Flay is a channeled spell, but it is considered not an instant cast because who knows? It's an instant cast because it casts instantly, but it's channeled, so it's not technically a channeled instant cast spell. Oblivion says, unlisted videos are fine. People who have all notifications enabled still get notified for unlisted videos and can see them watch them. Oh, okay. Awesome, Oblivion. I didn't know that. Yeah, it doesn't clutter the main channel. Yeah, that's the thing that Kevin's saying. So we were worried that all these streams were cluttering the main channel, and that was the main worry. So, okay. So this, like I said, guys, is primarily a Shadow Priest PvE spec. Now, if you want to talk about straight up PvP, I can make a Shadow Priest PvP spec. One that I like, 5 out of 5 Blackout, of course. Shadow Focus, improve Shadow Word Pain. Oops. Okay, so you have Blackout, which is amazing, right? 10% chance that your shadow spells will stun the target for 3 seconds. I can't tell you how many times Blackout saved my ass in PvP. I mean, Blackout is so good, dude. You know, a rogue's beating on you, and boom. And the cool thing about Blackout is, right, that not only can all your shadow spells proc it, right? So if you are a troll and you have your shadow shield, which is kind of like the lightning shield that they have for, which is the troll racial, that can actually proc Blackout. And also, as an undead, Touch of Weakness, which is that debuff that you put on yourself when the person hits you, that can also proc Blackout as well. So Blackout is just amazing, amazing. Yeah, spam shadow. So the thing is, Wormwood, is you don't even really have to spam rank 1 Shadow Word Pain to get Blackout. I mean, you can if it's a target that's ranged, but if someone's hitting you, you can just spam Touch of Weakness as well, which is, I mean, either way, it's like, right, because they're both a lot of, like, low amount of mana, but at least Touch of Weakness is doing damage every time that person is attacking you as well. It can crit to be, like, almost 100 damage, right? So if you're spamming, you know, that Touch of Weakness, and I think it's really cool, especially if a rogue's beating on you, hitting you over and over again. Okay, so straight PvP, guys. You definitely still want those 5 points of Shadow Weaving. Now, we're going to put a couple points in Improved Mind Blast, but the thing is, I've noticed while, you know, I used to put 4 points in Improved Mind Blast, which is, I don't do that anymore, because I've noticed I really don't get that much benefit out of it. I put 2 points into Improved Mind Blast, and that's it. But 2 points there, that's really all I've seen needed. I never once said, oh shit, my Mind Blast is on cooldown again, because a lot of the times I'm using Mind Flay, especially if a target's hitting me. If someone's hitting me, I'm using Mind Flay, you know what I mean? So a lot of the times, I've just noticed that 2 points in Mind Blast is enough for me, and that's why, I'll show you why I like to do that as well. So again, guys, this spec is my PvP spec. I personally think Shadow Reach is amazing for PvP. Increases the range of your shadow damage by 20%, right? That means your Mind Flay can go further. That means you can slow people from further, because Mind Flay slows the target. That means you can put your dots on people from further away, which means that if a druid's running away, you can kill him quicker. Personally, I think Shadow Reach is amazing for straight up PvP. Big Worm says, I can't wait to spend a month of my life farming a disgusting oozling. Oh yeah, I love it, baby. Shadow Priests are so much fun to play. Doge, they actually are. Is your name Doge or Doge? Doge form. Doge. Hello. I like a Doge. Yes. So why 5 points in Blackout? Hit cap is 4%. Do you mean Shadow Focus? Because Blackout is a stun. And this reduces the target's chance to resist your shadow spells. Is that what you're talking about? Addiction. So, okay, so we put, I think you can put 4 in Shadow Focus as well for PvP. Straight up for PvP, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what you're saying. Isco, right? Yeah, so we put, okay, we can put 4 there. But we can put 4, but I would recommend, because it also reduces the target's chance to resist shadow spells. It's not just straight up hit like the other, like others says. Someone just says, hey Def, did you know that the priest in the class with the highest DPS at level 2? Really? What is that, just like smite spam, Temujin? Alright, let's finish this up right here. So I'm gonna put, okay, so let's talk about Vampiric Embrace for a second, right? What up? I'm tuning in at work. Love the stream. Lionflow, how you doing, brother? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the subscription, guys. Okay, so Shadow Priest PvP, guys. Improve Vampiric Embrace. Okay. I always would get the spec, right? Because I always said, you know, the 10% additional healing is really, really, really nice. I personally have noticed that with improved Vampiric Embrace, I can sit there with, you know, my Vampiric Embrace on the target, my Shadow Word Pain, and Mind Flay, and I would sit there Mind Flaying while Rogue was hitting me, and I was actually out healing the damage he was doing to me with, you know, I mean, like, it was keeping me alive. So sometimes improved Vampiric Embrace could be the difference between life and death. The thing is, you got to remember to put it on all your targets and to use it all the time. I like it. Personally, I like it. I know people who don't run with it. I like it, and I'll show you why. I'll finish up the spec here in a second. So 5 points in the darkness, which increases your shadow damage by 10%, and 1 point in shadow form. Now let's go down the discipline tree, and I'll show you what I'm doing here in discipline. So 5 points in Unbreakable Will, which increases your chance to resist stun, fear, and silence effects by additional 15%. That's huge. It's amazing. Really, really good. 3 points in Improved Power Word Shield. Again, you could not go into Improved Power Word Fortitude, but it's really good to have that Improved Power Word Fortitude in PvP. 2 points in Martyrdom, absolutely here, absolutely. You could even take a point out of Empower Word Fortitude to move forward. Let's keep it out for right now because I want to show you guys for something else. So you get Inner Focus. Now, the thing that's amazing about Inner Focus with Shadow, especially for Undead, right? If you're an Undead Priest, you have Devouring Plague, which is another dot. It's a disease which does damage to the target over time, a good amount of damage, you know, not as much as Shadow Word Pain, but very much close to it. And it also heals you as well. So just like Vampiric Embrace heals you, this dot heals you as well. So that's a huge amount of healing coming back to you if you do Vampiric Embrace with Devouring Plague and with all your other shadow damage. That's a massive amount of healing coming back to you when you're damaging someone. Again, like, I've seen my health go up crazy ticks by just doing damage. I mean, sometimes more than like a Renew would do. It's crazy how much healing you can do. So Devouring Plague costs a pretty good amount of mana. Did I miss Rogue? No, Chris, we didn't get the Rogue yet. And honestly, guys, we're probably going to finish the rest of these on another day because we're still only on the first two. But so Devouring Plague, I really like to match it up with Inner Focus. So we're going to put 3 points of Meditation, right? We'll put 1 point in Improved Power Word Fortitude, and then we want to put more into Mental Agility. So the thing is here, what you could do is you could take some points, if you don't want to, out of Improved Vampiric Embrace. You could go into Improved Inner Fire. Now, it really depends on you. A lot of people also like to get Improved Mana Burn. This is where it comes into a lot of your preference, right? So, Shadow Focus, I'm wondering how much we're going to need actually in just PvP scenario. I think it was 4 points, if I'm not mistaken. So, it reduces your target's chance to resist your shadow spells by 8%. Undead here, you think? Yeah, Undead for me is amazing. You could go all out, and see, the thing is, I like to farm in my Shadow Spec as well, which is why I like to have a good amount of Shadow Focus. So as long as I have like 4 points in it, I'm usually good. Now, Improved Inner Fire, what that does is increases your armor bonus of your Inner Fire by up to 30% with 3 points. Again, it's nice, but remember, with Shadow Form, you're already getting 15 reduced physical damage, so that's huge. So if you can put a couple points into Improved Inner Fire, say 2 points into Improved Inner Fire, right, and have that Shadow Form already, that's a lot of damage that you're mitigating from melee damage. And now, you think about that, right? Which is better? Is Improved Vampiric Embrace better, or is that much mitigation better? So a lot of it goes up to your playstyle, right? And Hex of Weakness is amazing. Yeah, it is. I like the special abilities, and Troll gets more. So, Braff, a lot of people do like Troll better, and honestly, I like the playstyle of Undead. I just like having that extra dot. Even though it can be dispelled by a lot of people, especially on the Alliance, especially with Stone Form with Dwarves. Stone Form gets rid of diseases as well, so it can be a little bit of a pain in the ass when you use it, especially when it's a 3-minute cooldown and you're using 2 cooldowns just to use one, and it gets immediately, wiped away. So yeah, it can be a pain in the ass, but then, when you're fighting 1v1 against that hunter who's just destroying your mana, and you have that extra dot on them, that could be the difference between life and death. It does help a lot. So again, guys, depending on your play style here, Improved Vampiric Embrace, like I said, it can be really nice. It can help a lot. But also, you don't want to underplay how nice Improved Inner Fire is. So you could put 3 points into Improved Inner Fire, or you could put them in Improved Mana Burn, and put 2. It depends here. Like, are you going to be mana burning a lot? And it only reduces by 0.5 seconds. So personally, I don't put any points in Improved Mana Burn. I really don't think it's that beneficial. It is nice, but it's not definitely needed. So this is actually the spec that I do right now. So this is 5 out of 5 Blackout, 4 out of 5 Shadow Focus, 2 out of 2 Improved Shadow Word Pain, 2 out of 5 Improved Mind Blast, 2 out of 2 Improved Psychic Stream, Silence, 3 out of 3 Shadow Reach. Now, you could take points out of Shadow Reach, but I think it's just so good in PvP. I love having Shadow Reach in PvP. Now, remember, guys, Vampiric Embrace, you're already getting 20% healing back from damage from 1 point, right? Putting 2 points just to get another 10% does seem like you can put those 2 points into somewhere better. So that's a lot of times when I thought it was such a good spell and all that, and then I thought about, you know what? I'm only getting 10% less. I can put those points into Improved Inner Focus and get 30% increased armor from my Inner Fire. I'm sorry, which is really, really good, and it synergizes really well with Shadow Form, which is already 15% reduced in physical form. So again, guys, your playstyle, minor differences here and there. This is a PvP Shadow Priest form, and I just want to go over one other quick spec real quick. I know we're focusing on Priest a lot, but this is a Holy Weaving spec. So again, this is primarily just for raiding, and all you're going to do here really is get Improved Shadow Word Pain, put 3 points in Shadow Focus, 1 point in Mind Flay. It depends what you want to do here to put the rest of the points. You can put them in Affinity. You just need to get down basically to Shadow Weaving. You put 5 points in Shadow Weaving. You don't need the Improved Mind Blast at all, because you're going to be using Mind Flay to put those stacks on. Mind Flay rank 1, and that's it. And then we can go ahead down the holy tree, improved renew, depending on, you know, if you're not going to be using renew as a holy moving priest, you can just go ahead and max out holy specialization, divine fury, inspiration, improved healing. Now, if you want to put, you know, 1 point in Holy Nova, you can for farming. If you want to put a couple points into Improve Renew, you can. And down into Spiritual Guidance, Spiritual Healing, and then you can go ahead and put, you know, 3 into Improve Renew. You can put 2 and 1 in here. And this is basically a Holy Weaving Priest, okay? So you're using your holy spells here, still basically, you know, healing all the time, except for when you're putting your stacks of Shadow Weaving on. So what you do is, and I did this the other night in Dawkins Raid, and it was a lot of fun. You basically use your Mind Flay rank 1. So use it, cancel it, use it, cancel it, use it, cancel it 5 times, and then just start healing. You have a lot of holy utilization here. You know, you still have all the basic holy spells that you would in a normal holy spec. You still have 5 points in spiritual healing, 5 points in spiritual guidance. 5, you know, you could even take 1 point out of holy spec and put that in renew, depending if you're going to be using your renew more. But you still have that shadow weaving, which is really helping the warlock. So what this does is you really don't need to bring a shadow priest now. You can still bring an extra warlock and have this priest primarily heal, but also put shadow weaving on the boss. I think it's really interesting. I think it's a lot of fun. It's pretty flavorful. Up to you guys what you want to do. So that is my personal preference as a priest, something that I love. What class do you guys want to go over next? I'm thinking either Druid, Rogue, or Paladin. And I'm sure a lot of you guys probably don't want Paladin, but we'll see. So what would you guys rather see, Druid, Rogue, or Paladin for the next? Druid? I'm thinking Druid too. Okay. Druid. If we got one more Druid, we're going Druid. One more Druid, we're going Druid. Mage. Ooh, Rogue. Palilol. Hunter. Rogue. Another Rogue. Rogue. Well, 3 Rogues. We got 3 Rogues. Druid. 2 more Druids. Rogue. Druid. Okay, we're going Druid. We're doing Druid. Druid. Already did Shaman, yeah, Faz, and we did Shaman. Alright, we're doing Druid. Okay. I talked a little about a Druid in the other day in the other stream, but I really want to focus them a little bit more now. Endgame expectations for Druids, right? There's many things you can do with Druids. Yeah, we're doing Druids, guys. We're doing Druids. Druids make amazing healers. They do. People like to shit on them and say they're not the good. I've seen Druid healers top the charts. I've seen it. You can do it. It's really, really, really amazing just how well a Druid can heal. Now, that's not the only thing they can do endgame. And I want to really push this in your guys' heads because Druids 100% can damage as a cat and they can tank. Okay? And the amazing thing is a lot of the times you can do a spec where you're also a tank or a cat. So, put this through your guys' heads. Right now, Druids make exceptional off tanks. Exceptional off tanks. I personally believe that every single raid should at least have 1 Druid tanking in it. I 100% believe that. Druids can make really good tanks. Off tank. Yes, Oblivion. Off tank. Now, the thing is, you're not really going to see a main tank Druid, personally. I mean, they can main tank certain fights, you know, but when you're talking about a main tank of the guild, no, it's really not going to happen. But if you guys ever heard of Skarm tank, he's, you know, tanked Patchwork. Like I said, there are actually fights out there where Druid tanks are the better tank than a warrior. There aren't many, but there are some. But the great thing about a Druid tank is when they're not tanking, they can go into cat form and do exceptional DPS in cat form as well. And then, of course, you have your Moonkin, which doesn't get much love. But occasionally, you do see a Moonkin in a raid. And usually it's 1. And it's for that juicy Moonkin aura, which gives you 3% spell crit. Okay, you put that in the mage group, dude. It's nice. Really nice. Really, really nice. Doom King. Now, I will definitely say that Moonkins, out of all the specs, are probably the least popular and the least taken 2 raids. Resto are definitely the most. And the reason why Resto Druids are so good, so we'll do a little Resto love real quick. So, a reason why Resto Druids are loved real quick, especially by priests, I really love them, is because of Innervate, right? Innervate is just too good. You know, and a lot of the times, Druids, I don't know what Druids do, but they're usually really good with their mana. So they're always giving their Innervate away a lot of the times. I will say one thing though, right? As a healing Druid, especially in the early days, right? You will use your HOTS later, especially in like AQ and Nax, but in MC and BWL, for the most part, we like to call it the one heal to rule them all, right? The one heal to rule them all, and that is Healing Touch, right? Healing Touch has multiple different ranks, and at multiple different ranks, it has multiple different casting speeds. At its max rank, it has a casting speed all the way to 3.5 seconds. The reason why Druids have the biggest heal in the game, a max rank Healing Touch, is because it gets 100% of its spell coefficient. Now, what that means is, when you see on your item, you know, this, so let's say my priest, right? You know, the robes that I have, it says, you know, gives up to 72 healing, right? The reason why it says up to is not because it just guesses and you get a random number every time. It's because each heal gets a different amount of that 72. So heals that are 3.5 second long gets 100% of that 72. If it's a 3 second long heal, it gets like 80% of that 72. And that's how spell coefficients work. So the quicker the heal, the less it gets from that spell power. The smaller the coefficient is, right? That's how healing works. So instant cast heals a lot of times have very low coefficients. They get less out of the healing, because they would be insanely strong if they didn't, since they're instant cast. That is why usually most of the time you see that slower heals, longer heals are way more mana efficient and do more healing, because they get more out of spell power. Okay, logo, what is not true? 1 healing equals 1 healing increase. If it doesn't have a spell coefficient of 1, you don't get the entire +1 healing. What are you saying there? Doesn't have a spell coefficient of 1, you don't get the entire +1 healing? It all has to do with the coefficient of the heal. Yes, okay. Oh, I got you. Okay, logo. Okay, I was like, oh shit, am I fucking up here? Because I did my homework on this shit, guys. Okay, I did my homework on this shit. So the thing is, guys, Druids are amazing. They have the biggest heal with their max rank Healing Touch. The one rank to heal them all is because you're using multiple ranks of Healing Touch, and at multiple ranks it has different cast times. Okay, so a Druid will have on their bar a shit ton of different ranks of Healing Touch. So, but they are very efficient because they can use all these different ranks of this amazing heal. I felt attacked. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? No, look, you're good. You're good. Link your homework, Oblivion. Oh, honestly, guys, our homework is the shaman guides and shit that we made, that Melderon and I made, and we're actually working on a new, just like straight up healing guide that's going to talk all about the healing coefficients. But the thing is, we want to, Dunedane, how you doing, brother? Just tuning in. Oblivion, it's on the advanced, it's on the advanced shaman guide also, Oblivion. That's where the homework is. But we're also going to be working on, it's going to be a huge undertaking, but we want to work on like healing, just healing in general. Talk about all the coefficients, but we want to, wait until we get, it would be easier to wait till Classic, let's just say that. So I just found out about the website today. Oh, Leonard, did you? Dunedane in the house, guys. I want to say something real quick about Dunedane. If you didn't check out Good Morning Azeroth yesterday, he finally got a camera. We saw his beautiful, beautiful face. And Dunedane is one of the nicest guys, one of the coolest guys, and I want to promote his channel real quick because I really think that Dunedane can use some love. So if you guys haven't checked out, Dunedane has made some really amazing videos. And I have to really tell you guys something that I like about him the most. So Dunedain has done a great job of making videos about, and tell you what, Dunedain has been a classic WoW advocate for a long time, and he's been playing this game longer than Melderon and I have, and longer than I think Kargos has as well. Dunedain's been playing for a very long time, so he knows his shit. He's someone who's like advocated for. He wanted to see like patch 1.1, all these things, and I think he has some of the really. Let's just say this: in Good Morning Azeroth, when he talks, people listen. He'll be quiet for a little bit. He'll be calm and collective, and then when he says something, it's just like spot on and it's perfect. This guy knows his shit. Okay, he knows his shit. Okay, here's his channel. Let me link it. And yeah, Classic WoW, the Gurubashi Arena, that was a great one, and he has some really good content. So guys, go ahead, give Dunedain some love. Is Dunedain a JN? Oh, Dunedain, I love you, brother. I love you. Nothing but love. Dunedain Alesser. Oh, I don't know. So there you go. Let's see, make sure that works. Yes, it worked. Dunedain. Alright. So back to druids. So healing druids are, yeah, they're amazing. They're really good. And what I like about them a lot is the fact that, you know, they also have nature swiftness, so it's an instant cast. And also you patch up nature swiftness with a max rank I was about to say healing wave, healing touch. That has saved the tank's ass probably more times than any other heal. I mean, what do you guys think? I think a nature swiftness healing touch is just like, when I see a tank go from 0 to 100 in a split second, you know that a druid or shaman just saved that tank's ass. Could have a sword. I was like, wrong source. Oh yes, from Lord of the Rings. Yes, Lord of the Rings is the Dunedain. Subscribed, awesome. Yes, guys, go over to Dunedain, give him a subscribe. He's got some amazing content, absolutely amazing content. He's a classic WoW, just knowledge like encyclopedia. He just is. So okay, so we have gonna put reduce the amount of cost of your healing touch, tranquility, nature swiftness. Oh wait, do we want improved? You don't do improved regen yet, right? Because you're not using it as much. Or I guess you could put a couple points in there. Oh wait, that's right. We need a point insect swarm. It's so weird how you need to put a point there. Increases the effectiveness, and then swift mend. So that's basically what your resto, and then you can put some points in balance. Healing druids are great, says Logo, and get a B-res. That's another thing, guys. B-res in vanilla. There's only one class that can do it. Yes. Okay, let me tell you what the great thing about not having a res is in raids. When everyone wipes, you get to sit there and let everyone else res. But when the tank dies, you're the only one who can be res. It's awesome. But no out of combat res / wipe protection. Plus they get geared, tunneled to them like hunters because there are only like a few in raid. That's so true. A buddy of ours, buddy of the channel, Discipulo, he got his druid geared so quick. If you guys are someone who, like, so a priest, right? Being a priest, it's very competitive. Especially when all you can use is cloth, and when shamans and druids, shamans can use, you know, mail, leather, and cloth, and druids can use leather and cloth. But the thing is, when tier druid drops, which for some reason, when I raid, druid tier always drops. It drops on like every other boss. We literally disenchant like every piece because all our druids are maxed out geared. They get geared so quick. As a great point, Logo. Thank you for bringing that up. Temulgin said druids will be spamming healing touch rank 4 the most. The speed versus the drop in healing is the Goldilocks zone at rank 4. Thank you, Temulgin. I wasn't sure what rank that was, and it sounds absolutely right, Temulgin. Thank you for that knowledge drop, brother. Hell yeah. Dude, honestly, I really want to make a druid in Classic, and I think I want a tank because I just love the idea of being a bear druid. I love it, and we can go in and talk about a little bit of the tanking spec for a second. Evening, gents. How you doing, Overlay? How you doing, brother? Logo, dude, I want to. I'm telling you right now, and the best part is I have like one of the most influent, like one of the best knowledge of druids as a friend. Taladrill is a personal friend of the channel. He's a personal friend of mine, and that guy literally knows everything about druids, like everything. The fact that I could just go to him whenever I have a question is like awesome. Of course, you want a bear druid, then he can get war stomp and keep going. Moo, absolutely Temujin. That is why. That is why. Bear 30-0-21 is a great compromise if you still want to possibly raid. Yes, that is true. Oh, you mean, yeah, 0-30-21. Absolutely, that's a great point. So you're not getting natural weapons or Omen of Clarity, but you're still getting a lot of good stuff, right? So that's a really good point. And another thing that I love about druids, right? Def, you need to look at the Moonglow Balance Dip healing spec. Temujin, can you... So let me look it up. The Moonglow Balance Dip healing spec. Let's look it up. Okay. Moonglow Balance Dip healing spec. Sounds, it's absolute maximum healing output talent tree. What is this? Let's see if this is the one. Is this the one? Let's see. Here we go. Okay. Is this it, Temujin? Is this the spec? Well, this is interesting here. Wait a minute. This looks like a PvP spec here, correct? Temujin, who would pummel a druid? Would a main tank druid on Voldemort's up until BWL so they can definitely tank some heavy stuff? The tank on Voldemort's are up until BWL so they can tank some heavy stuff. Oh, that's not the spec. Okay, that's not the spec. 24-27. Okay. 24-27. So let me see if the other one was it. 24-27. That's not it either. Let's see if we can build it together, guys. Let's build it together. Okay, 24-27. So you're saying, let's see, 24-27. So a main tank absolutely could druid on BWS. They can tank some heavy stuff. Yeah, dude, druids can tank definitely a lot of fights in MC and BWL. Okay, so 24-27 Moonglow. Okay, so we're looking, reduces the mana cost of our Moonfire. So we're probably gonna do just Nature's Grasp, right? What are we gonna do here? Improved Natural Shapeshifter, because the main thing is, right, you want to get down to Moonglow, right? So what? I mean, I'm guessing. It just doesn't matter that much for the stuff up here, right? I mean, you can pretty much do Talon Roost for Hurricane. Stop going into Feral. Oh. Yeah, that was already in there. That was already in. Sorry, that was already in. It was already set up in there. Okay, I forgot to get rid of it. No, I mean because they think Feral needs to farm pummelers to be viable. Oh. I'm what you're saying. Okay, so yeah, the thing about druids, guys, is okay. So manual pummeler is, what it does is that the pummeler does is it's a weapon in Numeragon. It has what, 3 or 5 charges. And it turns your melee attack speed from, what, 2.5 to like 1 point. It greatly reduces your melee attack speed, which greatly increases your threat, right? That's what it does. So, I personally, I mean, yeah, it's great, but you don't need it. Like, it's not absolutely needed. It's needed maybe in, like, Nax, but that's about it. Other thing amazing about druids, guys, and what I want to say about this, so yeah, so that Moonglow, if someone could send me my Discord, that would be cool, but I definitely would want to check that out, that Moonglow spec. Another thing amazing about druids, and this is a spec that I really like, is where you dip a little bit into Balance, dip a little bit into Feral, dip a little bit into Resto, and it's an amazing... Well, no, actually, Meldoron, Pummeler is actually... You're talking about the weapon from Numeragon, right? Because that's used for tanking as well. Crowd Pummeler, yeah. It's used for tanking as well, especially in Nax. I actually, so Meldon, I watched Scarm Tank, and you can definitely use Crowd Pummeler for tanking as well. No, it's not needed as much, definitely not. But like when tanking Nax, the only way he was able to keep threat, because everyone was doing so much damage, not the only way, is that he was using the Crowd Pummeler. So it's not needed for tanking. No, absolutely not. So Vomp says, can you just use Iron Foe, that one-handed mace? So the thing about Druids is, Vomp, the weapon proc on Iron Foe, it doesn't, like, so you don't get anything from the weapon other than the stats as a Druid. Unless it has something like Forward Druid, right? So, like, Wind Fury doesn't work on Feral Druids. You don't Wind Fury your paw, which kind of sucks, especially for tanks and on the Horde side, because you don't benefit from that. So weapon procs, unfortunately, don't work, yeah. They also don't benefit. Yeah, that's what I just said, Melderon. Goddamn, repeating when I'm kidding. So, yeah. Another thing, guys, Druids are amazing, amazing in PvP. They make the best flag carriers. I mean, the best. When it comes to PvP in Warsong Gulch, you definitely want a damn Druid on your side. It sucks how I love the RP part of it. I know, dude. I do, too. Charm School says, imagine going 500 lava runs on a Druid. Yeah. There's a delay. So I know, Metalron. I'm messing with you. Can't be disarmed. That's true. You cannot be disarmed as a Druid, unless, of course, you're caught out of form. But even if you are, like, who cares? Just go back into form. Yeah, no weapon. Oh, Vomp. No Wind Fury, no weapon proc. Time to reroll. They are still good though, Vomp. They are. They're good in a lot of other ways. PvP especially, dude. Like, Druids are amazing in PvP. So what else about Druids you guys want to cover? I think we talked a lot about. They're amazing. They make amazing tanks. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit about Kitty Cat, right? Kitty Cat DPS. The thing is about Kitty Cat DPS that's difficult for a lot of people is to be competitive. You need certain items, right? Well, one certain item. Well, yeah. So the Crowd Pummeler is one of them. The other is the Wolf's Head Helm, which I want to show you guys real quick. So this item right here is what can make a Druid really good in Classic, and that is the Wolf's Head Helm. So what it does here is when shapeshifting into cat form, the Druid gains 20 energy when shapeshifting into bear form and gains, 20 energy when shifting into cat form and 5 rage when shifting into bear form. So that on top of Furor, right, which gives you 10 rage when going to bear form and 40 energy when going into cat form, that is 60 energy every time you power shift. Okay, and that's what we call it, power shifting. That is a shit ton of energy. The thing is, though, well, you will have natural shapeshifter because it costs a ton of mana to go in and out of form. So you need a lot of consumables. For that. It's unfortunate that, you know, that's what it is, but a lot of people think it's a lot of fun because you can do some really good DPS. So DPS Druid is not viable on Horde, but tanking raids on Horde is fine. Yeah, so Jacqueline, the thing is, right, that the Alliance, for some reason, Alliance Druids are better at Kitty Cat DPS. And why is that? It's just because of the, you know, why? I'm not sure why is it. Formless melee Druids, let's go. That's Moonglow spec. Okay, that's Moonglow spec. Gotcha. So you... Small. Oh, maybe it didn't show up for your small citizen. It probably won't let you put it in there in the chat. DPS Druid is not... So, why is DPS Druid not viable on Horde? That's always been... Like, is it because... I mean, what is the big difference? Is it just because of... blessings? Can't be why, right? The thing is, guys, you don't see many feral cats. Like, I've honestly only seen a feral go kitty cat when he was off tanking and just to help. So spec in Discord general. Oh, thank you, Oblivion. Thank you, brother. Let's check it out real quick. There we go. Here's the Moonglow spec. All right. Thank you, Oblivion. I appreciate that, brother. Comparatively, they're better because Horde DPS has Wind Fury. Oh, I see what you say, Doge. So you're saying is because people with Wind Fury are just going to be doing better, so there's no point really to bring a cat DPS. I understand now. I understand. I thought it was something that had to do with the compatibility of that class on Horde or Alliance. I'm like, there can't be that much difference. So I get you now. Kings versus Windfury. Yeah, it's a big difference. Gotcha. So Logos, a small Horde Druid tip. Get your PvP trinket. It's basically the only way to break a fear since... Wow, that's so true. Will the Forsaken or Priest Fear Ward big for bear tanks? Yes, dude. Absolutely. Great tip, dude. And that's something that I did as my priest. Now, remember, not every class, but, you know, class trinkets are different. And I'm guessing for Druid, you get out of fear as well. The thing in vanilla you guys got to remember is every PvP trinket is different for the classes. So some classes can get out of a fear, polymorph, or stun. Some classes can't get out of fears. Some classes can't get out of stuns with their trinkets. Every trinket per class is different, which I think is really flavorful and really cool. I love that. Okay, let's go over this Moonglow spec. It looks really interesting. So this here, your Improved Wrath, 4, and you have, of course, 5 points, 1 in Nature's Grasp, 4 in Improved Nature's Grasp, 3 in Natural Shapeshifter, Improved Entangling Roots, Improved Thorns, Nature's Reach, Nature's Grace, which makes all spell criticals grace you with Blessing of Nature, reducing the cast time of your next spell by 0.5 seconds. So you're telling me Nature's Natural Grace works in tandem with healing spells as well. And Moonglow reduces the mana cost of your Moonfire, Starfire, Wrath, Healing Touch, Regrowth, and Rejuvenation spells by 9%. Wow, okay. That is huge. That's 9%. So this is the most mana efficient, I'm guessing, as well, right? So Natural Grace, Moonglow, then you have Improved Healing Touch, which reduces the cast time of your Healing Touch. So Nature's Focus, like, of course, not, you know, Nature's Focus is one thing that you have to realize, like, not that big of a deal if you're not getting hit, but if you are, okay, you know, it's not bad. But, so 3 out of 3 Reflection allows 15% of your mana regeneration to continue while casting. And this is also why Druids benefit from Spirit, like Priest do, is because they allow mana regeneration while casting. So Insect Swarm, of course, because you need the points in the Gift of Nature. 5 points of Tranquil Spirit, which reduces the mana cost of your Healing Touch and Tranquility spells by 10%. So wow, that's a lot of mana reduction on your Healing Touch, dude. 19%. Nature Swiftness, 1 point improved regeneration. This looks like a really cool spec. Really cool spec. I would definitely try this out. Definitely. Okay. Jaquan the Chef said Druids are pretty decent main tanks because of their high threat. If your healers can handle lower mitigation. Jaquan, absolutely. Like, now, when I say main tank, right? I mean like main tank in the sense of like a guild and a raid. But yes, they can main tank certain fights. So they will be the main tank like on certain fights. Which absolutely they can. But when you think of like the raid main tank or the guild's main tank, it's usually a druid. I'm sorry, a warrior. Usually a warrior. But yeah, absolutely, Druids can do really, really good on certain fights, man. Like, really good. So I missed a couple here. Uranus 5. Okay. Comes down to cooldowns. Yeah. What a sexy man we got here. Kigo, how you doing, brother? Hell yeah. How's it going, my man, Kigo? Feral DPS for stealth dungeons farming. 5 Druid farming is OP. Man, I'm so hyped. Yes, I'm hyped too. Moonglow spec ain't bad. Absolutely. Yeah, it looks pretty cool, man. So if you go Feral Druid endgame, you can actually join raids as a bear and progress. Uranus, I would definitely, you know, try to find a guild first that would, you know, is looking for that. The thing is, dude, Uranus, you can progress and get, you know, gear. Go ahead and gear up as a resto, you know, and do that. But yeah, you can definitely tank as a druid in vanilla. There will be way more warrior tanks. But I think there's definitely a spot in at least every raid for at least one or more druid tanks. Absolutely. Okay. But some bosses, yeah, exactly. So there are bosses where druids just can't tank. But there are bosses where druids can tank better than warriors. Some, like, I know a lot of people who think that, that just, like, you know, for the most part, you know, I mean, you can get armor capped really easily as a druid, very, very quick, and you're pre-rated best in slot. So there are some fights where druid can come up top, on top a little bit, and we'll talk more about that. We actually have a video coming out about that. I know I keep on talking about it. I've been really busy this last week with work and everything, and I'm working on that video, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be called Meme Busters, guys. Meme Busters. Taladriel and myself working on a video together all about druid tanks. It's going to be great. Okay. Indeed. Ooh, indeed there are. Druids are weird in a lot of the ways. Their best slot tank gear comes really early. It's true, somewhat, but then once you get higher into AQ, like, you know, your gear from AQ is great as a druid. Alright, I think we focused on druids for pretty long. We're doing one more class for today, guys, and we're going to talk about rogue, okay? One of my favorite classes, especially when it comes to PvP and PvE. So, we did talk a little bit about them when we had Atticus here, but I think we definitely didn't talk enough about the PvE side of things. We talked a little bit about PvP. If you missed it, we went over my my cold blood prep spec. We also went over the PvE specs, and we all went off for some leveling specs as well. Personally, Brian, I promise you, we will do Pally next time, Brian. I promise you, because I really wanted to go over Pally as well. But I want to do Rogue because there was a lot of people asking for Rogue as well. So, my thing about Rogue, guys, I think Rogues make one of the best, if not the best, leveling DPS to bring in your group with, right? When it comes to like just straight DPS, mages and rogues do great DPS while leveling, right? Always want to bring a rogue and a mage to your groups because of the amount of DPS they can do, and also a mage with the CCs. Rogues, guys, are a lot of fun, okay? And they're the only class that has two class-specific professions, one which is lockpicking, the other which is poisons. And when I tell you right now, at endgame, you will be expected to have your lockpicking capped, because there are a lot of places such as DM, such as, you know, where you need to open doors, right? And rogues can open those doors. Having a rogue in BRD, huge to be able to help. You know, you can do 7D1s and hopefully this will work in Classic, where they can actually start the event beforehand. Probably won't work in Classic, but they're great in the. I always forget the name of that one room where all the amphitheater of dwarfs are, so you can get the torches and start that. I mean, rogues are just an amazing class. There's going to be a good amount of rogues in every raid, especially on Horde and in Alliance as well, because Alliance rogues, we'll talk about the human rogues, they get increased damage to swords, right? They get, you know, 5 extra points to swords and maces, which increases their damage with swords, right? But on Horde, rogues benefit from Wind Fury, and Wind Fury on a rogue can be very, very good. So imagine this, right? Imagine you're a sword spec rogue, okay? We'll do a little bit of a PvE sword spec rogue here, so it doesn't. Some things here don't matter too much, but you know, if you're going to be sword spec, you don't need. We can put a couple points. We'll just go ahead and go and improve sprint for PvP and a couple points in deflection, dual wield specialization, sword specialization, blade flurry, weapon expertise, aggression. Okay, so imagine, guys, you have sword spec, right? Gives you a 5% chance to get an extra attack on the target after dealing damage with your sword. So that's a 5% chance to get an extra swing, right? Now, tie that in with Wind Fury, which is a 20% chance to get an extra swing on your main hand ability. And then also tie that in with a nice little weapon with a nice little trinket we like to call Hajj, Hand of Justice, which gives you a 2% chance to give an extra swing. That's a lot of extra swings, right? Extra swings equals extra damage, equals higher in the charts, equals boss dead quicker, equals more loot, equals more fun. So, the thing about sword spec rogues is they're great. They're great. Horde or Alliance, they're really good. A little bit better on the Alliance for a sword spec rogue just because of the humans, but then forget about that because you have Wind Fury as Horde. So, you probably tried to link a website, dude. Oh, that's probably what happened, Dunedin, yeah. If you want to link something to Dane, link it to me in Discord and I'll link it in chat. I don't know why. You should be able to link though on chat. So another thing, guys, dagger rogues, right? So my personal favorite myself is the dagger rogue. Backstab just does an amazing amount of damage. So we go ahead and get improved backstab. You know, this talent would change a lot here for a lot of the things. For, you know, sword spec, we go into dagger, and the thing is here. So let's do a quick dagger spec real quick. So we want 5 points opportunity because it increases the damage while striking from behind with your backstab, garrote, or ambush abilities by 20%. Now, your best friend as a rogue, your absolute best friend, is Slice and Dice. Okay? Increases the duration of your Slice and Dice ability by 45% with improved Slice and Dice. Imagine this, guys, having Slice and Dice up all the time, right? That's 45% increased speed. So imagine you have Slice and Dice as a sword rogue, and you're hitting non-stop. You're going to be getting those extra swings non-stop with all those things. Rogues can do so much damage, dude. I mean, there's only one class that can come above a rogue in DPS from what I've seen, and a lot of times I've seen rogues actually out DPS warriors, which is the warrior, right? Warriors do amazing DPS as well in raids. Rogues can be right on par with them. And listen, guys, they're amazing. They do great DPS. They're just really good. They benefit, whether it's Horde or Alliance. You know, whether you're getting that increased from sword specialization from humans, or whether you're getting that Wind Fury on the Horde side, they're just so good. So Dunedain says, would you say dagger combat is on par with sword spec? Dunedain, honestly, I've seen dagger do more damage with certain abilities, because you have those gloves that add increased damage to daggers. I forget what they're called. It depends, you know, it really does depend on the gear that you have. You know, like when you have your Tooth of Nar, if you have your Perdition's Blade, all that stuff, you know, dagger rogues can do an insane amount of damage. But again, sword rogues do too. Depends on the gear you have. Dagger spec is AQ 40 next. So in that, we're talking about the Seal Fate spec also, which we can get into later. So Chris JS says the dagger spec AQ 40 next. That absolutely does do higher DPS than the sword spec. But correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, you only go Seal Fate spec if you're crit capped, correct? That is what I've heard. So I really want to give rogues more justice, and I want to talk more about them. The thing is, you know, we talked PvP about that last time. Rogues have multiple specs they can do in PvP as well. You have your Cold Blood prep spec, where you have where you can either go as a dagger, which I like to, a dagger rogue combats, dagger Cold Blood prep spec, amazing amount of burst. I mean, you're talking about kidney shot, backstab, Thistle Tea, which you guys don't know. Thistle Tea is actually an item that you can make from cooking that uses Swift Thistle, which gives you 100 energy. So it takes the place of a potion. You use your Thistle Tea, that's 100 energy right there. Boom, another backstab. You should have 5 combo points at that point, hopefully, you know, and you can use your Cold Blood, eviscerate, and get an automatic crit on that eviscerate. It just does so much damage. So much damage. Come on, everyone, play the rogue. Dude, rogues are great. I know. Gloves you were talking about are aged core leather gloves. Thank you, Davius Ambition. Thank you, yes. Cleave plus Whirlwind is very fun for trash. Yes, it is. Chris J, yes, okay. So, yes, Seal Fate becomes the premier spec once you're crit capped for a rogue. Small Citizen says Seal Fate spec is looking for one. Your top, okay, Seal Fate spec. 1, your top AQ and or Nax geared, or 2, you want a great spec for both PvP and PvE. Combat is better PvE in early raids, but in struggles in PvP. Absolutely, Small Citizen. In early day, combat is definitely the premier spec. But let me ask you something, Small Citizen, and the guys in here who know rogues. Someone who's just as geared, right, as, so you have 2 rogues that are equivalently geared, right? One is dagger spec combat, and the other is sword spec combat. Say they're both Horde, right? so they're not benefiting from the human. Which of them can do more damage? Is it sword because of just that extra damage from slice and dice and the extra attacks from Wind Fury? Just because from what I see, it just synergizes so well with slice and dice. I'm sorry, with Wind Fury, that extra swing. Just sounds like it's synergizes. But I personally like. I love backstack rogues, and when I on my rogue when I first got it, when I got Perdition's Blade, when I got the leather gloves, I was doing top DPS when I got that gear. But again, the sword rogues weren't quite at my gear level yet. So Brian Anderson, daggers have more nuance, but swords may be overall more damage. Brian, great answer. I think you're right about that one. So Music DeMar says assassination is totally doable in early raids. It's not like we are feral or enhancement. Well, absolutely, Music. Great point. Comet is just better but assassination is still good. But ass is still good as well too. Yes, great point, Music. That's the thing, man. You're still a rogue at the end of the day, and you're still going to do great damage. That's the amazing thing about rogues. They just do insane damage. And the thing about warriors is, like, warriors get really good with gear. Rogues just do good all the time. Rogues do good in pre-raid BIS. They do good with their tier 1. They do good with their tier 2. They do good with their tier 3. If you want to consistently be doing, like, top damage, rogue is an amazing class. I mean, yeah, warriors can get geared pretty quick with, you know, things like Devil Soar and all that. But, guys, rogues are just so damn good. So damn good. So, lockpicking will be insane. Dolpchu, a funny story is, first time around on my rogue, I was so noob, I totally didn't even get lockpicking. I didn't even really even know about it. Didn't even get my poisons. I was a complete noob, dude. But I went back, I did it. And I think lockpicking and poisons are just so flavorful, and I love it so much. So again, guys, rogues. Now, for leveling, rogues are okay. They're not the best, but I personally had a lot of fun leveling my rogue. I did it with engineering, and remember, guys, if you have an advanced target dummy, while engineering, which hopefully will be working in Classic, it wasn't working on some private servers, but advanced target dummies are so good. It's basically like a personal tank for you for a little bit. So rogue, which is a class that take a lot of damage, they can put something down such as an advanced target dummy and actually tank for them for a little bit, which is really cool. Warlocks for the win, absolutely, China. And we're going to talk about Warlocks lately. So what about Hemorrhage spec? So Hemo spec Dunedain primarily, usually is a PvP spec, right? So we went over the Hemo spec the other day with Atticus. But, you know, Hemo usually goes in tandem well with the sword spec. So you want to be going something like this. I'm just going to be going down the talents here. Don't mess up something here. Actually, wait a sec here. Additional combo point. Yeah, add a combo point. So you want to go. So you have prep, you have Hemo, and then you would go down, you know, something around that. I'm probably no, you couldn't in vanilla. Oh, right. No front stabs in vanilla, guys. So no front stabs. So Hemo spec for swords is very good for PvP. I have seen people actually do a Hemo sword spec while leveling as well, just because it's really nice to have those talents and abilities on a PvP server, and you can still do relatively good damage as a Hemo sword spec. You really can. And what really cool is about Hemorrhage is an strike that damages the opposing target, causes the target to hemorrhage, increasing physical damage dealt to the target by up to, which is not 3, but lasts 30 seconds and awards 1 combo point. So Hemo can do a lot of damage. It's really, really good. Thank you for subscribing, Christopher Sickbid. Thank you, brother. Front stabbing is a private server gimmick. Yeah, Chris J, absolutely. I'm actually glad that it's not going to be in Classic, man, because, you know, same thing goes for druids. Druids could do it too. They could shred from front. But you know what, man? Like, that altogether makes swords while leveling the premier. 100%. I mean, look at me. Like, I love Dagger Rogue. I love Dagger Rogue. I love the RP of being like an assassination with daggers. But with leveling in Classic, you 100% are going to get more benefit by going swords. Big Worm says, however, double sheep. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so Justar says you can backstab mid-combat by running through mobs and turning quickly. Not worth the effort. No, that is actually pretty much front stabbing as well, Just Star. The only other way that you could do it as well, too, is by gouging the target and running up behind them. So, Chris JS says, Hemo is worth in PvE when the debuff slot is increased. Great point, Chris JS. The thing is that we will have 16 debuff slots from the start in Classic, so gives good damage to increase other melee. Great point, Chris JS. Gives so much extra damage to other melee. So the thing is, Chris JS, should we have one Hemo spec in raids? Is that I don't know. It's a good question. As Small Pseudosim has a good point too, though. There are a lot of other good debuffs too. So, what patch was Hammy? Shadow Step wasn't added until the Burning Crusade. So, I believe it was added in the Burning Crusade pre-patch, but it didn't come out until the talents were reworked for the Burning Crusade. So Shadow Step was not in vanilla. I know it's Shadow Step was an amazing talent when it came out. So yeah, who has the inside hookup on add-ons? So what I've heard, brother, is that add-ons will not be working in Classic at the start. They're gonna have to remake add-ons from scratch. They're gonna basically, be making brand new add-ons for Classic. Thank you for subscribing, Devious Ambition, my brother. Guys, I got a pizza waiting for me, but I want to keep on talking to you guys, but I gotta go eat. So today we went over priests, shamans, druids, and rogues. Okay, we did a good amount today for expectations for each class. Another quick thing about rogues, guys, that I want to say is it can be hard gearing as your rogue. There is a lot of competition as a rogue, but rogues are great fun, man. I mean, you and druids are the only class in the game that can stealth, and do not underappreciate stealth. Stealth is one of those abilities that is just so amazing. To be able to pick and choose your battles, to be able to go across the world without people seeing you, is just so fucking cool. So Oblivion, the next session will definitely be on Sunday, absolutely on Sunday. Possibly be doing a stream tomorrow with Dawkin, but that'll be a special stream. That'll be more of like a chill stream, hanging out with you guys with Dawkin. But we'll be coming back to this topic on Sunday at around the same time, 3:30 EST, 3:30 East Coast time PM. So we'll definitely be coming back to this on Sunday. But tomorrow, like I said, we could have Dawkin here. We're all gonna be hanging out, going having a cheesesteak. You got anchovies on that pizza, brother? Hell no, I ain't got no anchovies. I hate anchovies. I got pepperoni and sausage on that pizza, baby. Hell yeah. Hammy with the $4.99. He says, appreciate the streams, brother. Hammy, you get a hell yeah, brother. Thank you for hooking me up with that $4.99 at the end of the stream, brother. You guys are awesome.
Jedi must have the deepest commitment.
You guys are my Jedis.
The most serious mind.
You guys have the deepest commitments, the most serious minds. I love talking Classic WoW with you guys. What is that fucking thing I put on the guy? I didn't even realize I put that visual on there. These guys with their tongues. What the fuck is that? Thank you for the $4.99, Hammy. I appreciate it, guys. Yes, guys, also, if you want to come hang out and just chat with us in Discord, you're more than welcome, guys, to join the Discord. Let me link that real quick for you guys. We talk a lot in Discord, just hang out, talk, shoot the shit, whatever, post some funny shit, and, it's all good time, brother. So, yes, we could possibly be here again tomorrow with Dawkin, but that'll be a special stream if we do it. But I 100% will be back here on Sunday Fun Day, finishing up the rest of the classes for the endgame expectations for each class. I love you guys very, very much. This is Death Camp signing out. Peace, brothers. I love you. Have a beautiful fucking weekend, guys. Until next time, keep on key bonding and grinding, motherfucker. Yeah.